Hello there. What are you guys doing? Who's in here? What's up, Johnny? What are you doing? What should we get in today? What should we get into? Oh, I'm Zen. You're over there. I thought we might talk about Boris Johnson. That guy got replaced or something on the political theater screen, and as most people should be quite well aware of, the whole thing is very much scripted and names and people they're put in place well beforehand. Uh, they might be real, they might have masks on, it might be CGIs, who knows? It doesn't really matter, but it's definitely some type of scripting that works out. And so this person's name, her name is Liz Truss, which is clearly the word, lost trust. Really. It's not. It's beyond coincidental. Liz Truss. I mean, if you say it right, it's lost trust, right? Well, I mean, what? Who? And they just throw it out there, just put it right off in your facial region. The whole thing, everything they do, and it gets me to thinking, as per usual. Obviously, this circus clown show of whatever's going on here. You know the the purpose of the whole thing. Not my life per se, the everlasting thing, but it seems there is a whole thing going on out here. There's lot of, a lot of strange people, a lot of weirdos, a lot of a lot of clowns, a lot of people that just straight, straight lie about everything, just misrepresent all sorts of stuff. And it's my only, you know how they say if you throw all of the all the possibilities out there and you're looking at them and you're like, okay, it can't be that one, it can't be that one, it can't be that one, and you're just left with like one or two possibilities, and they're the most bizarre, but they're the only ones that fit. That's probably right. What I've come to the conclusion of is that these people that are seem to be aging, seem to be in sorts of positions of power, seem to be um, they've been doing whatever they're doing for so long that there's only a few answers, and they're all really, they're kind of fringe. Maybe I think that might be fringe for most people to accept, but they must be somewhat either immortal through like vampirism, like vampires. Because there's no way somebody just came up, hey, this is something cool. They never existed, but let's just something we thought of. No, vampires. The whole everything you didn't think existed that you thought was fiction is probably real in our history. They just changed fiction to nonfiction and nonfiction to fiction, right? So there's either that, or they have to be they're doing lots of the stuff that they're kind of pointing at and saying they're doing today of like regrowing organs and flushing blood through people's bodies, putting new blood in, or maybe taking consciousness out and putting it into a robot, or those things. Are we certain those things aren't already going on? Because that would be the only solution for these people to continue to maintain their position of power and authority through what appears to be, uh, to bold face just lie, to misrepresent everything they do. And if everybody else knew that they could be in some way immortal, they probably wouldn't be dealing with this. If they assumed everybody else was just like them, and they'll be in power for a few years and they'll be out. So they think maybe that next generation something will get better. It just doesn't seem to. Like everyone would just go, oh yeah, they're just going to be old and die. There'll be new people coming. But for them to continue the charade, the clownery, the mockery, to destroy the history, the architecture, to alter. I mean, clearly the history books that we're reading, that we're given, is nowhere near the truth. Clearly the architecture of the ancients and the giants, and clearly the everything we're looking at and that we're told from these institutions, nowhere near the truth. Nothing even close. So these people seem to be they seem to be like just standing there in power, and maybe they're just putting prosthetics on. Maybe there's just it is a movie set to them, and they live for thousands of years, or you know eventually immortal, or not eventually, but they're pretty much immortal. But I suppose they could. It's kind of like the movies, like Westworld or Altered Carbon. Yeah, there's probably ways you could get rid of their stack, get rid of them completely. But usually they can come back, just like vampires come back. It's like so that's like it seems like the only thing that could be reality. Because if someone was really just living for 60, 70 years, and then it was, I mean, because they don't even really like their children. They don't seem to. They would eat their young. You know what I'm saying? They don't really have. So it's like if they were only going to be in power for 70 years or so, they wouldn't have so much, especially whenever they're looking all decayed and like just falling apart. They probably wouldn't continue on living the way they live. They'd probably do something to be happier, just to at least seemingly not be such piles of dung. But to write out these stories so far in advance, who would write out these stories for generations? If you weren't here to experience it, what would be the point? No one's building a castle that will take, or a church that will take hundreds of years if they're not going to live to see the end of it. If you lived for 10,000 years, you'd have no problem whatsoever making a decent amount of money, and then building. Here's your house, but now I want a church. I want to build something huge. And it doesn't matter that it takes 100 years if you're living for 10,000. You just go, oh, that's just a project that I'm working on for. That's the only conclusion you can really come to. Is these people either live to be really really old, I mean, or they're immortal or something. I mean, who's out here just straight, and what is the purpose too? Like of how diseased they try to how diseased they try to make the average human. Do they have disdain? Do they really hate? Are you different species than them? Do they really just look down upon humans as if they're not? Um, you know, we built them in a laboratory. I mean, I'm all for one that. Let's see what we got. That was probably built in a laboratory. But if they are taking their genes and splicing it with with something else, right? The rhesus monkey. So to say you came from a monkey would be like, in a sense, because you didn't evolve, but you were hybridized with a monkey, perhaps. So they would be like, okay, that's not my child. It's isn't that the story of like most families, like, oh, you can't be with them. We're at war with them. We hate them, or that's a subspecies, and you're not a pure blood. You're a hybridized bastard child thing. It's not the king's child. It's somebody else's from outside. So that's what they did. They hybridized. And so you got some people like, well, no, they're half our genes, just like the gods. And they're like, yeah, but the other half is garbage. It comes from stupid monkeys. Is that what it is? What is the whole idea of a reset or end game or whatever? Like I've put it out there before. Do you know how much easier it would have been before the internet came out to subdue and control and manipulate a population? It would have been way. First of all, the whole one world governmental thing, it's already been in place. Anybody that thinks that we're going that way doesn't understand what countries are. Countries are companies. Their companies are under a larger umbrella company. The companies you think that you're dealing with are owned by other companies, larger companies, and until you get right to the who's controlling the whole thing. And so whenever you have like a World Economic Forum, when you have a World Bank, when you have these larger companies like, oh, there's a lot of them that have been around for a very long time, worth trillions and trillions of dollars. But you'd have to just go, okay, well, who owns this company? Who owns this company? Oh, who owns that? Yep. So once you get to that, you start to realize that we're already under. Yeah, so it might look communistic over there. It might look like some sort of um, republic or democratic society here. It might look like socialism there. But most of it, it's kind of run by capitalism. Capitalism is, getting into corporatocracy. Everything is pretty much a corporatocracy. So, but the larger point of everybody is, oh, it's going to be, this one world order, one world government. The dilemma is, why wouldn't it? Here's the thought: why wouldn't they have already done it before the internet? The rise of the internet. It has been way easier for people, average everyday people, to get on to the internet and find information that they could not have at all come upon just 25 years ago, 30 years ago, whatever. 30 years ago, you weren't get on your phone and you could access all aspects of information in reality. You know how difficult it was to come by anything. You have to search through some dusty catacombs, some libraries. You'd have driven somewhere. They had to have the book in. You'd have had to look at. Now you could just type something in and you could research it. So like the information, like they had complete control of information through the television. So the television was one way. I wasn't on TV. You weren't on TV. You weren't broadcast. Nobody was. It was you were the elite of elite. You were in the Hollywood. You were casting spells, and no one could do anything about it. There was nothing. You watched it, and that's what you got. Even if you had an opinion, what are you going to do? You going to write into the company? They don't care. They're going to pump that information out. So they could have easily mind controlled the entire population already. Why would they have? Why? This is the only, the hope or something for humanity. The thought that, okay, there must be somebody on our team. There must be some good guys there or whatever, that they were already taken over and already, you know, locked us all our asses up in cages and thrown the keys away. They had no reason to give us the internet, not at all, none whatsoever. The internet didn't provide them with any more uh, power, really. I mean, there's some aspects they get out of it for sure, but they didn't need it to begin with. They could have hypnotized the whole planet with that thing. Now everybody has the capacity to broadcast themselves, even though, of course, there's the shadow banning and the this and that, and how algorithms work and connection and fake bots and this, and yeah, of course. But yeah, I mean, what's the end game? Is there an end game? What is it? What's the goal? Complete utter terror and power. And what is the point of the terror and the power if that turns into their world being literally just them and everyone is essentially a robotic slave? How boring would that get? There's nothing. There's no human to interact with. There's nothing. Everybody, even if they are human, they become so artificially grown mentally and physically, because once you start eating the plastic and eating all this other artificial inorganic stuff, you basically become a robot anyways. I mean, people are robot enslaved into their own programs of how they think, where the way that you walk, the way that you drive, where you drive to, your job, your general, the conversation you'll have, the food, the places you go to eat. They're not a big altering, of course. What was that movie with where he was I remember the bus scene. He was trying to meet this girl, but he was like, there was this rhythm and pattern he was on, and he's got their like computer tablets, and they're supposed to make sure that he follows this path to, they got it all planned out. And then one day he decides to get off the bus and go see about this girl. What the hell's the name of it? Everybody knows the movie, but it's like that. Like what's the point? Once everybody's went that way to the point of just being robotic automatons. Like, what fun is it for you if you're not? How boring. Like, how much, you know? It's fun to win, but it's good. It's fun. It's more fun to win when it's legitimate competition, right? If you knew you were going to win every game. Every time you throw some cards, you know what everybody has. I mean, that's nice for a little bit if you want to win some money and you got some devious friends, whatever. Like, I'm gonna win this, but like to do that all the time, I'm yeah. It's like, all right, I'm gonna dress up as a woman so I can do a woman's sport, right? Because I'm gonna be taller, stronger, da da da. Oh wait, I can't say that these days. We're all the same thing, right? Huh. But you know what I mean? Like, okay, just every game you play. And what do you like? Whenever like LeBron was in high school, or you ever see these dudes that they're like in high school that you're like that they that birth certificate's not right. There's no way that person's this age, or just like the really big kid, even if they're the same age. Like that's not fair. That's not. They're gonna win every time. What's the point? Go play with somebody your same size. Be on the same playing field. Be on the same. So this whole what is the they say end game as if there is an end. They say the apocalypse as if that's an ending to something. It's not. It's just an altering. It's changing. So it doesn't seem to be an end game to anything. But what I mean, what wouldn't they have already done it? That's always the the pin. They're like, oh, we're right around the corner. We have what's up, Christos? We've got an opportunity for this new world thingy. Like y'all been saying this since when? You could have implemented that thing anytime you wanted. And that's what's already in order. And the confusing part to people is they don't really realize it. They don't see it. Hmm. What are we doing? What is happening over here? Peace, 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 peace. I don't want any peace, man. I want the whole goddamn thing. And also, I want some coffee. I just made some coffee yesterday, and I really like my leftover cold coffee in the morning. But I just finished it. There wasn't that much left. What else? So what else is going on? Okay, there were supposed to be rolling blackouts in Cali, which they averted because people got wind of it ahead of time and decided that it would be smarter to turn their power off for a little while to avoid rolling blackouts. Which, in essence, if you really just think about it for a second, it was a rolling blackout. If everybody kept their power on, it would just shut the grid down in certain places. So 100 houses would be out of power, or randomly 100 houses decide to shut their power off. Thereby, it's a rolling blackout anyways. It was doing it on purpose. It's like if you all don't shut your power off, which means you have no power, the grid will be overburdened, and you could just power shut off anyways. So who wins that contest? People that don't shut their power off, because it's not gonna matter as long as the other people do. This is why the whole their game would be over if we all just you know stop doing this, stop to buying this, stop purchasing this, stop paying this for this, and stop. The thing is not it's not going to happen. It's there's too many humans. There's too many people that are going to that time and time again. Crowd psychology has shown that it's easier to control a mass of people than it is to control one person. One person go off and do anything they want, but that doesn't mean there's a bunch of people going to just do that. All the things that would support putting a healthy system in place. There's got to be some form semblance of a governing agency of body, kind of like your brain. Should be a little bit of a governing agency for your actions. There should be a governing body for the populace, right? Not in any way that we have it now, not through corporations and fear and marketing and poison and all that. It doesn't need it that way, but there could be implementation of something healthier. But why won't it happen? Because the things that I would say that would make it healthier. So if I tell everybody, hey, here, we can have a healthier society and make prices of food go down, we could do it immediately. Here's the thing: it could never happen because you would have to believe what I know to be true. which you're not capable of, which is you can do with eating 90% less food, and you'd be healthier for it. Not only would you be healthier for it, prices of food would go down. There'd be an overstock of food. You'd have more energy. You'd have more. You would need less pills. You'd see the doctor. I mean, there's so many things. Just by that, you could fast. Who's going to do it? You ain't going to do it. You could break the entire, not break it, but readjust so many aspects of the system. One thing. Now let's get into other things you could do. Same thing of being somewhat. I'm not saying be a conservationist of energy. I'm not saying, if just little things of little changes that people would make just in everyday life. If everyone did it, it would change the entire outlook of society. But that's the dilemma. People are addicted to the things they're addicted to, and it's you're not gonna be able to change that. I mean, yes, do I believe in what Buckminster Fuller said, which is, well, he said a lot of things. He said if you implement a new system, the old system will become obsolete. Yes, but how's that new system start to get in play? It wouldn't, because it's going to get no traction. Every time we tried these things through the years, the other system is just too big, and this eliminates or eats up the other ideas, the other competition. Buckminster said that what do you put on his tombstone? It said, "Call me trim tab." The trim tab is a postage, like a little stamp, postage stamp size tab on the back of a giant ship. So you've got the rudder, change directions of the ship, and you have a trim tab, which is the trim. It means it's moving that much water. If you put that boat into the ocean and it's going straight, let's say North Carolina is to England, something like that. It's going to take a straight shot. If it starts and heads it goes out in its journey, and somebody adjusts the trim tab this way, that entire ship will turn its ass around. That tiny little thing, the smallest little deviation can change the path of a ship. A half a degree hitting a golf ball, a half of a degree on your head, the head of it, the say, will change where it lands by 20 to 30 yards to left or right. So, I mean, yes, on an individual level, we can change our path for our journey, but as a totality, most people don't know there's a trim tab. Most people ain't going to do the little things. Most people aren't going to change the way what they eat, what they're addicted to. Oh, there's always great stories of this guy who lost all this weight. He's healthier than ever, and blah blah blah. Great. That's how there's always those little stories. But as a society, not to have all of these corporate dead entities just hanging over and looming over our society. You'd have to these people. This is why I've said I'm somewhat in agreement that I'll say it again. There's not too many people on this realm. Definitely not. There's more. There's more than enough space, more than enough abundance in the world. We could double the population. It wouldn't matter. It's just how we have it plotted out where people live and how things occur. That's the only problem in the system, really. But so just remember that there's not too many. But I'm all for getting thin the herd. Why? Because most people, I doubt most people want to be here anyways. Most people are, they're too dumb. They're too dumb to want to. They're too dumb to like. It's just why? What's the mouth breathers, the useless eaters, these kind of things. People that there's plenty of people that have no joy. Some people that steal joy. Some people that just cause a rift in everything that's going on. Like the fifth element just cause chaos. I don't know. I think 500 million is too much. What's up, Colin? Yeah, Colin. Yeah, it's the little change would change tons. I mean, see, but that's the thing too. Going into it, like I've changed plenty of things, and I've changed. Like years ago, I was on this thing. I was like, hey, I'm fasting. I'm gonna be a vegetarian. I'm gonna make all these right choices. I'm gonna get healthy. I'm gonna be super healthy. I'm gonna do all this, and it's gonna help the world. It's gonna change stuff. Guess what? And it changed my life. Yeah, somewhat. A lot of learning experiences. Sure. But I was like, oh, you know what? Maybe if I do, it's just that energy, people will start waking up and doing it too. You know, as my consciousness changes, so will other people's, and radiating that frequency out. Didn't happen. Didn't work. There's been lots of people that are a lot smarter than me, a lot more powerful than me, a lot more. You know, they've been there, and they ain't nobody listen to them either. And that's the dilemma. Not individually you can change your life path and change things for yourself, but you can't expect, and that's it's just the way it is. Not everybody's going to be like they've already established that like their ship's going down. I mean, you ever see people that you go, okay, that person's they have their life planned out. They're like, all right, 70. I'm gonna be around to about 70, and I love my bacon. I love my um these little things that are slowly eating away at my life. I love these things, and it doesn't matter anyways. Somehow, some way, there's not that much. People are like, I don't really care. It's not. Hmm. Brings me a little joy here and there. They're not changing anything. They're not going to. Yeah, the only my response to it is generally is be as crazy as it is. I mean, not the type of crazy, obviously, but I'll be crazy to that level of be goofy. Like it's here's what you kind of notice. You go out, especially if you lived in cities, and you just see people that are they're they're gone. They're off that heroin. They're off that. They're drunk. They're high. They're drugged up. They're robotic from their job all day, and everybody's on their own crazy shit, and you just go, uh, everybody's just on their crazy shit, and you're trying to sit there and go, hey, this is what's normal. What's normality? I go to this shop, and normal is this person's selling $20,000 antiques, and there's a cat with a bell around his neck and everything. You know what I mean? They're eating souffles, and and then I go right next door, and there's a dude that's got face tattoos, drinking PBR and snorting methamphetamine off the bar, listening to death metal. You know what I mean? And it's in the same space. And everybody's just sitting there and living out some crazy fucking shit. So what is the purpose? What's the yeah? I guess you just got to do whatever is making you joyful or happy for the moment. Doesn't seem to be much else to do. What's normality? I always like the book, and I put you guys on this plenty of times. Is the Insanity of Normality. The Insanity of Normality. Arno Gruen. And it's just the idea of like why so many things that we call normal. Like Jito Krishnamurti. What do you say? It's no measure of health to be well adjusted to a profoundly sick society. Of course, it's not. Insanity is normal. Normality is insanity. The things that you would say are just the run of the mill. Those people must be going crazy inside. Like inside of their head, they must be having a that those gerbils and those thoughts must be having a field day because they don't actually express any of it or go and it's like kids that they repress everything. They hold up and they blow up like they get all crazy, right? These people do it all the time because everything has been. What's that movie with Oh, there's a 1990s 2000 movie. Michael Douglas, right? Wore glasses. He was like suit and tie guy, and he went into McDonald's or something like a right. Oh, it's called Falling or Fallen. Yeah, anybody know this movie? Walks in McDonald's is like 10:32, and he goes, "Oh, can I get a?" And he orders breakfast, and the person goes, "Oh, I'm sorry, sir, we're not serving breakfast anymore." He goes, "What?" He goes, "Yeah, we stopped serving breakfast at 10:30, and it's 10:32." And so this is the straw that broke the camel's back. That he ends up going, "I just wanted breakfast. You're gonna do this." And people and obviously he's not that mad about that particular moment, but all of the other things that went into that. And most people they're living in that kind of paradigm, that life where they just they compress it, they suppress everything. You know what I mean? What do you do? So, what is the solution, individually or for the collective? Yeah, and the Colin, the whole like getting rid of, letting go of all of it. I think sometimes people associate that they bind that to. I mean, what is letting go of all of it? Putting a backpack on and living in the forest. I think that's an association, and that can't be and shouldn't be true. I think it's goofy. There's life is life, and they'll find a way, and blah blah. But you don't just do that to unburden yourself from what you see as enslavement and struggle to you're giving yourself a new type of enslavement and struggle. People qualify it as freedom, but no. Now your slavery is to not having any biosurvival units. Your slavery and your struggle is now your next meal, where you putting your head down, if it's raining, blah blah blah. It's a different, you're trading things in, and a lot of people, I think there's some sort of middle area there. Something you take a little bit of this, a little bit of that. You access certain parts of natural reality and this weird, funny matrix, and you live. A smart person lives in two realms at once. I think that's the only solution, really. So that way you can give up aspects of this crazy thing and get some freedom over there. And then by doing that, you open up things here. You know what I'm saying? You open up things because then by not being addicted. And people just do. The point is, people become addicted to the opposite. Oh, I have the freedom of not going to the job, but hey, man, I mean, what do you want? You're gonna sit there and beg for a couple bucks because you want to go hang out with some people at a local towny bar and have some drinks? Mm-mm. I mean, that's your slavery now. So, from that sense, you're just trading in one habit, one slavery, one expectation, one thing for another. So yeah, like letting, people say that, again, the letting go of it all, like let go of what? What is people? You can't let go of all of it because I'm pretty sure you don't want to be walking around with just a pair of pants and a shirt on, no backpack. Where are you going? Better not be cold, better not be wet. That's a whole nother. You're just another system, another struggle, another. Didn't we move on from that? We're gonna be cavemen. Are we not? Are we not worth more than a bird, a monkey, an animal? You have opposable thumbs. You have an advanced language. You have computers. You've got entertainment. You've got all sorts of different societal interactions. We have dance, we have music, we have, you know. I mean, because here's the thing too, just taking that one step further. If you were to give up the what we consider this matrix of society, this whole at what point, let's pretend you get in touch with Mother Nature and eat the mushroom poop or whatever, or maybe not. Maybe you just become so enlightened just by sitting and participating in your own consciousness. You're going to continue living, right? And you're going to get into the space where, always reminds me of the book Siddhartha, and what he experiences and goes through is towards the end he didn't disassociate from reality. He didn't give up the world. He attempted to, because he couldn't understand this crazy place. So in becoming the Buddha, becoming that thing, sitting under the Bodhi tree and all that, it's the same thing that would happen to anyone. Eventually you're going to participate again. You're going to come back and you're going to build something. You're going to start using your thumbs. You're going to start using your tools. You're going to use language. The acquisition of language is an artificial tool that we created. You're going to start building. You're going to build yourself a little cabin. You're going to get yourself some sheep. You're going to maybe get a cow, milk that thing, make some clothes, and all of a sudden you're going to build a society not much too different than what we might be living now in anyways. Or maybe at first it'll be agrarian, more of what you might consider third world, and then it will move on. And you'll find ways of upgrading the tools and technologies. Who is this? It's a fish. A fish heathen. A heathen.
The heathen. Yeah.
Oh wait, hold on. Let me turn my volume up here. I can't hear you. Fish head. The roly-poly fish head.
Fish heads. Eat them up, yum.
Yes, fish head. Fish head. Eat them up. Oh, why do I know that song? What is that from?
I have no idea. It's like
is that? What was it? Was it some British comedy or something? I want to say. If anybody has that on deck inside of your brain, the fish head thing, where did that come from? It's kind of British to me.
Roly-poly fish head.
It seems like a British diet. It's like what the Brits would eat.
Hello, everyone in the room. I'm a fish head.
Ah, yes. What is going on this fine day?
Same old shit, different location.
I got out to see the ducks yesterday.
Oh, that's cool.
That was fabulous, but I did not have any duck food. However, all of the ducks came up and were all of my grill piece. Like they all just came over flocking to me and were just standing there. A couple let me pet them, but they were just like, "Where's my food?" I was like, "Dude." Just because I think because I had my backpack and I usually open the backpack up and there's food in there. So they seen the backpack and they're like, all right, unleash the food.
So maybe that intelligence of a duck.
Well, I mean, the intelligence of ducks.
Duck.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's there's a few of them that know me very well, and then they'll say something, and then the rest of them will go, what? And then then all of a sudden there's 30 ducks standing there. There's like 3 or 4 of them that will get up right next to me. One will stand next to me like a Pokemon or whatever. But it's not always the book bag, because they'll see me, whether I wear a hat or I don't wear a hat from a long distance, or whether I have a backpack. So there's something else they can see. I wonder what it is.
Maybe it's your aura.
Yeah, or maybe they can just smell me.
Yes, I don't know how much ducks can smell.
I heard they have pretty good eyesight. I don't know about their smell. Yeah, I heard their eyesight is better than humans. But I guess you kind of would have to be if especially animals that can fly. You got to be able to see kind of, especially the ones that can see stuff underwater. Their eyes would have to be different, right? They would kind of have to, like the inversion of colors, or like how you put certain glasses on, and you can
Do
see.
do they have a film or something that goes over their eyeballs when they
Yeah,
die?
it might be. It might be. I need to grow some of that in my eyes. It's like wearing the yellow or pink sunglasses, and everything kind of changes its contrast.
I gotta start the engine. Let's see what happens.
Oh yeah. 10 o'clock. What are you looking at? Is it Wednesday morning? Yep. Oh man, what to do today? It's like it's one of those days again. It's like borderline cloudy. I don't know. Borderline cloudy.
Wow, let me mute myself because when I started the engine, it doubled our microphone for some reason. That's weird. Okay.
When you started your engine to your car?
Yeah, it's like I got my phone hooked up through here, and I see when
Oh.
I talk that my little bubble on my icon shows up, and then you talk and it shows
Oh.
up too.
So it was probably just pulling more power from the thing. You got your alternator running, so it's pulling more power. Neat. Oh, you fancy. You got fancy cars.
Mm,
See, me and Colin were just having that conversation about giving up all of the, giving up the modern society's kind of little gadgets and things. I don't know, man. I like gadgets. They're fun. What's up, Skull? What's going on? Yes,
go
Xanax
go
is here.
gadget, skeleton bones.
What is Xanax for? Is Xanax for depressed people, or is Xanax for people that anxiety?
I think it's anxiety.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Okay. Well, that makes sense. I can either I can take away people's anxiety or cause quite a bit of it. No, usually, yeah, more or less remove anxieties. I'm changing my name to Xanax. Isn't that one of those little rapper guys' names? Yeah, one of those little goofy guys. Little
So
Xanax.
what's the topic today?
Oh, well, we started with the reset thing, the apocalypse, and the new British Prime Minister or something.
Yeah.
Didn't they replaced Boris Johnson with this chick whose name is Liz Truss? So Lost Trust. Like that's who they replaced, and she's like a really goofy looking thing,
Hmm.
really really weird one. Looks completely like I know
A
not.
British camel toe, huh?
Yeah, I know. This one, I think she probably has beef curtains, like flaps that used to be a penis. But it is funny. I used to not believe in. I still don't really believe in archetypes of gods and devils. But some of these people these days, I'm starting to believe in demons and devils because these people are kind of. I mean, most of the demons and devils are on my side, like it, but these people are just weird looking, very manipulatively creepy. Like
Hmm.
I don't know, like they have zero empathy, complete sociopaths.
Well, from what I caught earlier when I was cruising, you were talking about the longevity of these so-called Anunnakis or whatever the fuck they
Oh
are.
yeah. I think that's yeah. I think that's the only resulting idea I have. Like the only conclusion I could come to is like some of these people really got to be immortal. If they're putting it in all the movies now, whether it's implementing their consciousness into a robot or putting it into another being, or talk about like walk-ins or whatever,
Yeah.
or they go into a hospital thing and they just suck all the blood out. They put fresh blood in, and all of a sudden they start regrowing it on their own, which is essentially Shivambu, essentially just putting fresh blood in. Isn't that what they if anybody remembers, they were doing an experiment that on a chicken heart, where all they did was put fresh water in every day. They put some sort of, I don't know, sodium or something in it, but it was basically just water and something. And they would replace it every day. And this heart was living for something like 13 years. And then one evening, the like the scientists, you know, they have like the staff that helps out, and they were supposed to do it. They forgot to put new water in, and the heart died. And so that was the end of the experiment. But it went on for something like 13 years. And just saying, all you have to do is replace the fluid, which is, I mean, essentially, if you look at a car, if you were to replace all the fluids in your car before they started to go bad, and even the hoses and the metal and everything, it wouldn't put too much wear on it. And your body has the capacity to repair things. You break a bone, it will repair. And the only thing that stops your bones and the rest of your body from repairing itself, hey, dude, your mic is kind of doing some funky thing. The only thing that's stopping your body from repairing itself is dirty fluid. Like, I mean, it's unable to take the things to the right part of the body. Why when someone breaks a bone, some people can heal that bone in 3 weeks versus someone else. Older people, brittle bones, they might not heal correctly. Takes longer. Why? They're not moving. There's no blood. The blood is all dirty in their system. They're backed up. Their stomachs are full. You know, their intestines are full of garbage. So
there is such a.
Oops, hold on. What'd you say?
I said there is such a thing as a blood patch, where they take blood from your extremities and they inject it into an area that needs assistance in healing.
Ah, interesting. I mean, isn't that essentially what they do with blood transfusions, anyways? I mean, we're doing a type of blood transfusion. That's
right. You're taking a solvent that's not beneficial and replacing it with a solvent that's more beneficial.
There you go. I mean, that is essentially what most of anything in the world does. That's what the body does. That's what vehicles do. That's what any system does. They replace broken parts. They replace the fluids in the inside of something that you know get dirty, go bad. You clean it. You clean your fryer, put new grease in that shit. And if we really consider it a step further, I mean, what do you do when you go to a blood donation center or a plasma donation center? They put your blood into a centrifuge, pull it apart. They pull out the things that they don't need and don't want, and they take the golden stuff, which is your piss, urea, and everything else. They put that back in the body. So we're already cycling that.
Hmm? Those injections are the spun out part of the blood they put back into you, and they inject it into wounded or injured areas.
Yep. So I mean, as quickly as that works and as helpful that is, it's expensive and it's you know, it's
a racket. It's a big business.
Yeah, it's invasive. Why not just go ahead and skip that part and just put the fluids in yourself?
Yeah, I'm not saying it doesn't work.
Oh no, I'm agreeing. It does work. People they just would rather pay for somebody else to do it. You know what
Shivambu is a much more economical route. So much better because it's yours.
but it's dirt. It's dirty. It's filthy. People can't make the association that fluid that's going into your body, that was in someone else's body.
Yeah, the solution to pollution is dilution.
I know, right? What's up, Keisha?
I'm gonna mute myself and jump out.
Hey, where we at here? It's a benzodiazepine, like Valium. Okay, Skull. Where are we at? Cause hey, what was you were doing UT for 2 weeks and felt good, but past few days you've been feeling a little sick. Yeah, I mean, anytime that you are cleaning your body out, whether it's fasting on water, urine, juices, even, you got to remember you have organs, and as those organs, you start to not consume so much food, your body's going to go, okay, what can we clean out? And it's going to go to your organs that are full of whatever the hell you put in there. Like right now, I probably have a lot of remnants of whatever aspirin or whatever the hell I've been taking. So I probably have that in some of my organs, and it might be coming out like through my skin here, which is maybe this, right? So it's stuck in my liver. All of the garbage is in your body. As soon as you start cleansing, it's trying to remove it, and it could move through just like, I mean, think of a car, think of anything you're using. You're pushing fluid through somewhere, and it's got dirt, and it could get clogged up somewhere else. It could start to come out your skin. Maybe all of a sudden come out your asshole. Maybe sweating it out wherever and vomit it out. All sorts of ways that things try to get out your body, and it's called the Herxheimer effect. It's like whenever you do a diuretic, diarrhea and having all that, you don't feel good. It's stirring things up and it's releasing. You'd say, "Oh, I ate something bad. I'm sick. I started vomiting and pooping. It gave me food poisoning." People say this all the time, and I'm thinking they didn't have food poisoning. What they had was something they put in their system that was a diuretic that cleaned them out from all the other unholy that was in the body. It was sitting there stagnating. Most of the toxic shit that's in people's bodies are what we consider a cadaver. So a cadaver, a dead body, something that's going through the fermentation, cadavering process. And as that's coming off, all of a sudden you got bubble guts, you got this and that. It could be fruits or vegetables too. They're going through this process, but those as that alchemy is, the chemistry is taking place, you could be letting off all sorts of weird shit into your body that's not really suitable. It's hardly ever the immediate, I got food poisoning because you ate. Oh, I went to and I ate a raw burger. Yeah, I mean maybe, but most of the time I don't think it's that for people. So yeah, should you keep? Would I? It depends. It depends on how. What are you doing? Do you have things to do? Are you mentally foggy? Do you got the poopies? How bad do you feel? Maybe give it a rest. I mean, what would I do? It would be 100% on what my day was looking like and how bad I was feeling. Right? It's not like you can't start it up again. It's not making you like the idea of making you sick. Oh, it's definitely not doing that. But it is loosening up and getting rid of things that used to be in your body. It's the difference between eating. If you eat something and you feel sick eating it, like, hey, I'm going to keep eating. I'm going to keep eating white bread and shoveling chocolate in my mouth, and my stomach hurts, and I'm feeling lethargic. You know what's going on. But, when you're doing house cleaning, you're making a mess. Like, think about when you clean your house. It's dirtier before it's clean. You look at your house the way it is, and you're like, all right, you got to move this. You start scrubbing this. Some of this, fall all over the place. You're a little fatigued. Yeah, you could be doing a number on your kidneys. Like once you start cleaning, all of that blood is getting more and more processed through your kidneys. Do you have bags here? Your bags under your eyes related to a little bit of stressed kidneys, and is it screwed up your period perhaps? There's a period thing. Your period, your ovaries or my testicles are connected to my kidneys, which are connected to my eyeballs. So you'd have fatiguing going on in that, and it can be having your kidneys a little bit overworked is either going to be from just putting terrible stuff in your system, which will take its toll, or going through a cleansing process. Anybody that's done any type of juicing of any kind of fasting, you're going to go through times where you're going to feel like hot garbage. Yeah. Scully just came back from the kitchen. What up, doggo? Yeah, I would agree with Black's on here. Juicing will give you a little bit of energy. And coffee enema is always the way to go, especially if you got clogs. Because once you do a coffee enema and clean out the liver and gallbladder a little bit, everything else that is backed up will start working a little better. I need. That reminds me, I need to order some coffee. I haven't done a coffee enema in quite a while, and I'm certainly in need of doing a couple, because if anybody was not aware, I was not on here for a couple weeks because I wasn't feeling well. I had a little back. I had the same thing. I had a little backup in my thyroid. Why would that happen? Dehydration and other. It wasn't because of. It wasn't because of anything but the garbage I was putting in my body. Dehydration and garbage. So I got to rehydrate and clean that shit out. Yes, yes, yes. Speaking of rehydration, I think I want some more coffee. Although I'm kind of in the middle. I like coffee, and I want a little bit of the coffee buzz, but it's starting to make me have to do a poopy. And you know what? I forgot. I had I had this morning. I had sauerkraut. That's what's doing it for sure. Sauerkraut, coffee, both. One's a diuretic, the other's loosening things up. Ah, oh, you were just depressed? Oh, cool. Yeah, depression's awesome, huh? Depression is the greatest. My favorite, dude. Yeah. Sometimes I've learned about depression is you have to accept it. You know what I mean? You have to just go, okay. You can't sit there and go, okay, I'm gonna go make myself happy. I'm gonna go do this. I know the right. Yeah, no. Depressed. The root. The word is deep rest. Take a rest. Take a nap. Sit on the couch. Watch the sappy movies. Listen to sorrowful songs. Eat a bucket of ice cream. Who the fuck cares? Immerse yourself in it. I think it was oh, it was one of one of those beatnik poets or a musician. I don't remember who said it, but basically, he's like, I hate people that ruin the quality of my suffering. Anybody remember who that is? I've said this before. I don't remember the exact. Could have been Tom Waits. It could have been the fat drunk dude that everybody loves. That old dude. What the hell is his name? Bukowski. Nonetheless, yeah, and they're right. You gotta immerse yourself in your sorrows and your suffering sometimes. And don't overdo it. I don't think it was Tolstoy. It was probably one of the beatnik poets. Although I mean he was Russian, so everything was gray and very, you know. Although most of Leo's stuff was more thoughtful, wasn't so. It was not as it wasn't too dark. I mean, it was some dark shit, but yeah, it's probably Tom Waits or. Hmm. Yeah, so you gotta. It's the thing is you can't just. Everybody's like, oh, I was. Yeah, obviously you can have clinical depression or get too much stuck in that, but like shit days. Here's how I kind of amass it, right? People say like if you drink today, you're robbing tomorrow of happiness. Who the fuck cares? I had a shit ton of fun today. Of course, if I go out and eat today and I got to pay tomorrow, I'm gonna pay tomorrow. If I pay ahead of time, it doesn't matter. You gotta accept a little bit of this with a little bit of that. It doesn't like it's like if I just live my life just no, I don't want to have too much fun, because if I have too much fun now, then I'm not, tomorrow it's gonna cost me a couple bucks. But then I'm not gonna have fun. I'm gonna pay to get on that ride. And as long as you accept that, you kind of immerse yourself and go, okay, cool. That's what it is. And you just watch the crazy, weird thoughts and the not feeling good or whatever. Not enough people accept that, and it's the thing is, if you accept that, then you process it. If you process it, then like, so yesterday I was pretty much out of it. I was just like, yeah, because I went out for 2 days. I spent a lot of money I should not have. I bought a bunch of people drinks and I had a great, glorious time. And so yesterday I was just like, I know this. I'll sit on the couch and just read this and listen to some music, have a good cry, whatever. Yeah, whatever. But then knowing damn well, if I accept that, then today I'm much better. Bukaki. Yeah, Charles Bukaki. The biggest impacts on depression. What do you mean, like to help with it, to subdue it somewhat? Hey, I don't know if Junie's still in here, but I just read your comment. Yeah, so sometimes when you loop too much, you open up your third eye a lot, and your dreams become very intense. And when you clean out your blood and it starts to get into you start moving more water into your brain, and you start opening up your pineal a little more. You start having more like remote viewing or visions, or like you can see your dreams become lucid. But yeah, it pulls you from this reality a little bit for sure. And what do you say here? The impacts on depression. Um, a little bit of caffeine can go a long way. I'm not a big fan of caffeine, but I know that sometimes in the morning, if I'm kind of just if I have a little bit of caffeine and a beer, I'm good. The hair of the dog, as much as people just joke about it, hair of the dog will fix a lot of things. Like right now, what do I got here? Hey, I still haven't finished this bar. Anybody want to do a shot with me? So you guys look at me like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? What kind of moron is he? It's 10:30. He's about to just straight take some vodka to the head. What a drunken fool. Not really. I'm pretty much well versed in this. I'm a professional. I'm a professional. Um, the hair of the dog fixes a lot of things. It's kind of like it's the idea of the poison that bit you can be your panacea, and it doesn't have to be necessarily alcohol. It could be something else too. It could be um, 5-HTP is a really good one. Before you go to bed, honey is really good because there's your glycogen level and some things going on in your brain that can be fixed. Water, just water in general before you go to bed. Water and honey when you wake up. These things will help with um, not only like alcohol metabolism, but depression and the things that go on with that. Because a lot of people, don't feel well, whatever. Nutrition based. How much sun you get, sun will help. Grounding yourself out. Eat some chocolate. Legit. Go to Russia. They go drink fire water and chocolate caviar. They always look like they're having a joyous time. I don't know. You say, well, there's no nutrition in there. I would beg to differ. There's lots of nutrition in there. Hmm. Keisha, what your self esteem raises or diminishes? Nothing does. Are you apathetic? You know what I mean? Do you have a general disdain for people, for life, or you just mean across the board you find no joy, no happiness? Are you dating? Do you masturbate often? Do you do things that are exciting? Do you feel stagnant? Are you stuck? And these are all like legitimate questions. You can feel free to answer any the way that you want to. Um, you have outlets for orgasms? Do you have? I'm being legit. Are you artistic? You're apathetic. Is your apathy built out of just looking around you and seeing reality as kind of a little fucking goofy? Or is it, do you feel like it's just a chemical disposition that you got to maybe alter your brain chemistry? Or is it an outlook? Um, and do you have, when you look in the mirror, are you happy with yourself? You know what I mean? I mean, physically, emotionally. Oh, some days it's hard not to be apathetic. Oh yeah, I mean, how many times have I talked about this? Anybody here knows. I mean, as much as I give advice on how to be fucking splendid, there's plenty of times I'm sitting here going, everything is a piece of shit. Fuck all this. I mean, even when I'm doing it, but here I keep it at bay in the sense of if I use this thing right here as a little bit of a journal or an outlet, and I feel like I've expressed it, and then I can move past it. I go, oh, that's just the way I felt right then. I know in my whole being that the world's a pretty awesome place, and momentarily there's stupid shit and idiots out there. There's a totality, but you know what? There's ducks and there's babies and there's puppies and there's sunshine. There's all sorts of cool things to do. There's drunken foolishness with people. There's boobies to touch. There's all sorts of things going on that it's pretty awesome. But days you kind of go, eh. Ah, yeah, Colin, you're taking it too seriously. Yep, there it is. Yeah. Ah, pointlessness. Oh shit. How apathetic are you talking here? Let's go on to a different idea here. You're where you live. I'm assuming it's your apartment. So you were living with a boyfriend maybe? Now it's just you? And is the state of your apartment, because you realize that what's outside of you is a good indication of your internal turmoil, stresses, apathy. Like is shit thrown about? Is it a mess? Like right now, like for me, I always say this to people, like if you came in here, you'd be like, oh, your place is fine. I would say my place is in fucking shambles. For me, shambles is there's a shirt there. I left some balloons out from the other day. My book bag is open, my shoes, and I got some stuff on my counter. I could make my bed. That's to me, this is complete chaos. It's seriously 5 minutes of fixing. I'm just being lazy. How messy are we talking? And you just don't care to clean it? It's not like the Reddit memes of people's places that live in complete. You're not like in despair and complete apathy. There's got to be something that Do you like bubble baths? Do when's the last time you played with like a puppy? Go play with a fucking puppy. When's the last time you had a drink? When's the last time you got really drunk or really high? You know? Yeah. Okay. It's not that messy. See, you're like me. I'm, I'm kind of like this. Like there's five things that are left in my sink that I should wash, and I think that's dirty. I'm just like it take me a minute to do, and I'm just looking at this like, oh man, my sheets are kind of off my bed, and it's making me like I know that's internally I'm just going. I don't really need to do anything about this right now. But as long as I accept that and go, oh, I'm comfortable with it. It's not really apathy. Hmm. Where did you say you live again? What part of the world are you in? Hot, cold climate, city, country, like countryside or city? Go. Oh, that's right, Canadian. Ah, Yeah, 93% of the population being a genetic experiment. Oh, I wouldn't doubt that. I mean, I've oftentimes considered, like, was I made in a laboratory? I mean, I get it from the level of NPCs and the experiment of what would that look like in life because of the way people really be acting, like, the triggers, controls, mind control, um, like how people can be manipulated. Yeah, there seems to be some sort of, whether technological or actual magic or psychological, make this little code, and people don't know it, but it's making them do something, right? It's kind of like a stage act of someone putting hypnosis, and the hypnosis is on a big part of the population. But I always consider, like, I mean, I'm adopted, right? So for all I know, and part of the genetic experiment would be like, okay, some of the things that we're doing the experiments on are going to become self-aware of even the experimentation. So, like, people that are aware of that the society is some sort of society is an experiment to a degree, and there's people like looking and going, observing and going, okay, here's pattern recognition, and here's what's going on. And then people within the system go, Jesus Christ, this whole thing was a circus. The whole world is a stage. The whole thing's, you know, it's people, they know that within the experiment. They go, oh, okay, well, that was a fucking outlier. I'm just going to do this now, I guess. uh, oh man, Colin, I've been talking about this for a while. I think I think shared dog service is 100% the way to go, because most people, they don't want or have the time to take care of a dog. But how cool is it to, like, borrow? Like, people like borrow a book, borrow a dog. It helped with people's depression. That's a huge thing. Who doesn't want to just play with a dog for a day? Everybody gives up a little bit of your time. You get the fun of hanging out with the dog. The dog gets to walk more, gets socialized with all sorts of different things. That'd be a good life for a dog as well as humans. Timeshare dogs, I'm all about that. I mean, the obvious dilemma is, you know, uh, who's feeding the dog? What about, like, what if the dog gets in a fight? All the stupid shit that people are like, okay, because one out of 100 things, something stupid happened. Like, that's always the people like, well, I don't know if that's a good idea. Then fucking don't do it. Colin, you've oftentimes think you're an NPC. I've never thought that about myself. I have considered myself to be some sort of experiment. I mean, I do have quite an identification with Stitch 626, man. A friend of mine will always call me Stitch. Call me 626. He was a genetic experiment. Went quite awry though. Yeah, nothing really makes sense here. Yeah, I'm right on board with you. Ah, yeah, Acacia, 93% are made to seek approval. Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's maybe an overestimation, but it's a general thing that humans and animals have too. There is a hive pack approval thing. You seek approval of your parents, of systems. If you want to get a pat on the back, you want a gold star, you want a reward. And at what cost? At what cost? Um, of autonomy sometimes. So there's a big difference between having autonomy versus being part of a team. Being team and being oriented with the getting something accomplished, great idea. But that team mindset can turn to a hive mind, which can be very destructive. It's a tough thing, and I can see how most people do. They want valid. I did a whole few talks on this shit. The approval of others will kill you. Seeking the approval of others will kill you. It's it's of little regard. It should be, at least. You should want to we're social creatures. You should want to interact. You should want to be, obviously there's some sort of need to be appreciated, accepted, liked, that kind of thing. But that's all. Outside validation is what people are just seeking for. It's usually, we could get into the Freudian and the Jungian philosophy of, I need seeking approval from my dad. I just want him to say you did a good job. You're not a failure. You want your mother wasn't around, so you're seeking, comfort from the mother. There's all those basic things. And how much are we programming that into the psyche? And how many of these people are literally NPCs? Oh yeah. It's like the people that don't realize that they're somewhat controlled are the ones that are most controlled. The ones that don't have it, they don't have much of a, the ability to just go. Why would I even do that? Or what was my goal here? What was I attempting? What, to have self-reflective things. Yeah, I hear you on that. Senator tell you everyone isn't. Wait, say this again. Demonic bloodlines. So I told you that everyone isn't. The experiment comes from demons. Yeah, everyone who isn't the experiment comes from demons. You gotta help me. Yeah, can you type that again? I'm not understanding what you're saying. Then person told you that everyone who isn't the experiment comes from demons. Well, I mean, we'd have to first we'd have to evaluate who's considering what a demon and why, and where the word. I mean, even if we don't get into the etymology of and what a daemon or demon actually is as a helper, and yeah, I don't know. If you're saying from demonic bloodlines, like if you're saying parasitic is different than a demon. I mean, there's plenty of people that I would consider demon-like people, or devilish people, or that I would take on my team. You know what I'm saying? Because I know what they are. It's like you take the strong pit bull on your team that might rip something apart. Do you take that on your team, or do you want that on the other side? Are they loyal? Are they? Which is well different than somebody is pure parasitic. That kind of thing. He said people that, okay, they said, I mean, they aren't necessarily, but yeah, okay. Everyone who isn't part of the experiment, if you are not, then you're a demon or a hybrid. That's interesting. Because I think that most people are hybridized. And my assertion is that, well, if you look at Asian people, it's a different species. If you look at black people, it's a different species. White people, different heights, different sizes of nose. Their hair is wildly different. The ability to process the melanin, the sunlight, to turn that into something. You see red-haired people, they rust. They get burnt. Something completely different. They're from a different space. Whether or not we were all hybridized with monkey genes, or if we hybridize like a red-haired person has relations with an Asian person, blah blah blah. Okay, so their children are hybridized, or if they're hybridized in a laboratory. I think most people are. But the way you're saying it, so you're saying the demonic people are the ones doing the experiments. I don't know. I would think that I don't doubt being a hybrid myself. But I would even if I had to choose, I would be a hybrid. And you got to think about it. If would you rather be a fish, or something that walks on the water, or walks on the land? Would you rather be a bird? What if you could do all three? Most powerful thing in the world is a duck. Duck can swim underwater like a fish, can float on the water and hang out, can walk on the land, and can fly. Ducks are awesome. But you know what I mean? Like, wouldn't you rather be have the capacity of each of those things? Yes. People want to take a pure bloodline. So you're going to get pure blood. It has one capacity up to 100, but you could never fly. So that thing that can fly is way better than you. You can't swim and go in the water. The thing that's swimming underwater is way better than you. What if you could do all three? Maybe not 100%, but you could. I don't know. Ah, 13 humanoid species. I don't know most of what he's talking about. Maybe I will. Okay. I would guess there's probably 13 based on the number. Well, Black Sun, I mean, it's not the most powerful. I use that because I play with ducks and I love them, and it was a simple idea. They don't even have hands, and they out there eating, dog. They out there eating. They you can't fuck with the duck gang for life, yo. They will mob you, dude. Like a mob duck peoples. Obviously not the most powerful, but you get the idea. They have the capacity to be in different. A Pomeranian. Fuck a Pomeranian. I will punt a Pomeranian into the stratosphere. Pomeranians. Those are little pieces of shit out of here. Have fun fucking with the duck in the water. A duck would just fly down and pick that little piece of shit up and throw it. Drown that little miserable piece of shit. But yeah, the original bloodlines were, as far as we could tell, I think what we were given was the Native Americans, the red, the yellow, the white, and the black. Look at the flag. Got red people, Native Americans, black people, black, blue, and black people. Got yellow, Asian people, white people, they're Caucasus people. Those are 4 root races, and you got the hybridized races, which would be what do they say? There's the hybridized races, which will give you, I think it was 13, right? Yeah. I mean, I suppose taking that whole thing of a experiment further. If you were doing an experiment and say, okay, I realize that this experiment might be a weird process, but the experiment's going to take it's going to take a month. Let's do this experiment. You'll do this, and you're going to create something, and you know that thing is going to go through. A child cries, it falls off a bike. It's painful. It learns, goes through this process. Joy and pain and all these things, it's all going on. But you're willing to go through an experiment because it's going to have a life and it's going to enjoy it. But what if you knew that you're doing that so that we can find the highest form of species? This is kind of you selectively breed things, dogs, animals, foods. You don't find fruit that is going bad and take the seeds from that and try to grow. You take the heirloom perfect ones. You take the best seeds. Why wouldn't you? Of course you would. You'd even do it with your seeds. You're not trying to find the ugliest dude, the weak dude. You're not trying to find a woman that doesn't have suitable hips, doesn't have breasts that would be nourished. You know what I'm saying? You supple. This is what you're looking for. You're not. So we reproduce in that way. So if we're doing an experiment, we say, okay, no matter what happens here, we're gonna take the best of those things. It's what any intelligent being would do, and that's going to go on. Don't worry, that's going to go on to the next thing, the next stage of development. That's just the consciousness in there. That's going somewhere anyways. That's just a body that consciousness is interacting with. So that way, its next variation, its next inlet into this reality is in a better vehicle, in a better spacesuit. First car first cars in the 60s versus cars. Hey, we're upgrading the tires. We're upgrading the materials. Here's a stronger engine. Here's we're upgrading. That's kind of I think that in a sense, some intelligence in there, huh? Yeah, the automatons. There seems to be that, if you really took a grand view of things, there seems to be, man. The Westworld thing, that some of these people are robots already, automatons. Whether I don't know, maybe they're. Let's get rid of the Westworld thing where they become conscious, and just get to the step before that, where everything and every action is pre-programmed, automatic response. Here's crisis actor type thingy, but it's not an actor. It's literally just a synthetic being, and that's their thing. That's their path. That's their rhythm. I mean, certainly you can see the humans that you've interacted with and you have a relationship with, and they get outside of normal bounds of thought. Okay, but they might have. Hey, I go to work at 9, so that way I get up at about 8:30, and I go take the dog for a walk and I do my jog and whatever. That's my routine. And normal people can have routines. Nothing wrong with that. But there are some people that are full on routine oriented. This orderly process. Their mind thinks that way, and it doesn't get outside of that. And those might be full on automatons, controlled robots already. Yeah, it's why people come across my content, dismiss it without thinking. Oh yeah, yeah. Most people wouldn't be able to comprehend this what I'm putting out. A, because most of the talks are way too long, and I talk in a peculiar type way, not so systematic. I talk with a lot of open windows at once, variables, and use a different tenure, tone, timbre, and pattering, pattering to my to what I'm saying, and a lot of allegories and things. You can't ever explain something directly. People won't get it. So I get it from that sense why they wouldn't understand. I'd rather just say I don't understand what the fuck you're saying. You don't need to listen. But it's always funny when they don't understand something. Oh, I think who did it really well. It was a joke about it was Key and Peele, and he was saying something. He's like, "You're saying something I don't understand because I don't understand it. I have to make fun of you because it's taking away from and making me feel inferior." And so people that when they don't understand something, their response to it is not to say I don't understand, explain. Their response to is, "Oh, you think you're smarter than me? You're not going to make me feel dumb. Fuck you. You're an idiot." That's their response. That's the majority of Reddit. They don't understand because their brain is broken. They love their science. Regurgitation. Oh, it is pretty funny. I mean, I think part of the process is coming to go. The world's crazier than you think, and there already are robots. They live. There's robots and weird things amongst you already. They've done they've done such a number on it. Did you watch Westworld? The whole thing? Did you watch the old movies from the 70s and then watch the up to the fourth season is crazy, dog. Fourth season is it was a interesting transition to go from the first season being in the theme park and then and then they get to the third season, they're basically in a real city, right? And then they get to the fourth season and it's this kind of from the organic human city. One was first trying to kill off all the bots, and then trying to kill off the humans, and then going from this city, then back to the original Westworld. Crazy stuff, man. Oh yeah, yeah, Reddit is a cesspool. Yeah, it's how many of those are NPCs or robots, and how many of them they're just hive mind people that are at their house. They work on the computer and they're doing computer things, and they make their computer monies, and they order in their Domino's every day, and they eat their Cheetos or whatever the hell they're doing. But they'll be online and they're redditing and they're like, oh, uh, regurgitating this. Science says this. I wonder the percentage for real. I think it'd be hard to. I've asked some people that I'm pretty sure they were humans, and I asked them on there. I was like, hey, how many people do you think So I go on New Orleans Reddit once in a while because I want to see what's going on in the city. There's always some fun things posted on there. And ask me, how many people do you think on here are legitimately from New Orleans? Because the subreddit has 110,000 subs, which is impossible because there's not 110,000 people in New Orleans, or maybe just around that, because the New Orleans sub is supposed to be for New Orleans proper. You can't be from other part of. You have to be here. That's the rule of the sub. So the basic person was like, well, you have people that are gonna have 2 accounts, 3 accounts. You're gonna have bots, burners. You're gonna have people that are from out of state that are just peeping in. But how many people? I was like, yeah, but how many people do you think are legit, like from here and using it? And I was like 5,000 of 100,000. There's 5,000 real people, especially when you do the math on how many posts are here, who's actually responding to it, how often they respond, and then you're like, okay, is this a bot responding? And now put that across the entire internet or the entire Reddit, and then you see stupid posts that I'm just like, there's no way. You start reading the comments. There'll be a post about Joe Biden hugging a kid with autism. This just happened, and then every it was like upvoted to like 20,000 likes, which is insane, right? Or whatever, some insane number for Reddit, right? And then every comment was like, all politics aside, that's a really good guy. I'm like, a human didn't say that. No way someone said that. It's totally no. Oh, you have not watched? I highly, highly suggest it. Go watch that. Go watch Westworld is amazing. Everybody, man, I didn't watch it when it first came out because I watched the first episode. I was like, oh, this is too creepy. I can't watch this. It's gonna freak me the fuck out. And finally, like 2 years later, somebody's like, have you watched it? I was like, all right, fine. And I watched it. I was like, oh, this is crazy, awesome. And that, and go watch Carbon, Altered Carbon. Altered Carbon's amazing. That I appreciate a little more because it seems a little distant in the future, where Westworld seems almost tangible. It seems almost too real, like it's actually happening. Where Altered Carbon, there's a sense of the year 2050. Oh yeah, Reddit captures the need for acceptance, the upvoting, and the comments. Yep, yep, yep. It is complete nonsense. What's up, Jessica Bird? All of your infants. So what is your job watching babies? That's awesome. Ah, yeah, with the use of bot accounts. Yeah, picking up that narrative because obviously people want it. It's all pop. It's all pop culture, pop narrative, popular popular science. You want to be, but that's not going anywhere. That's what we were talking about earlier a little bit. Acceptance, and you want to be in the popular side. You think democracy is good? 51% of people said yes, 49% people said no. It in no way makes 51% of people right, but now everyone needs to. Democracy means rule by the mob. If more than half the people believe it, then the other half have to accept it. 51% believe something, 49 do not. Now everyone has to go under, even though okay, let's agree 2 and 2 is 5. 51% of people believe it. Doesn't make it so, does it? And the funny thing about the whole the selection, the voting thing, do the math. If there's let's just say there's I'll just do the math. If there's 1 million people and 300,000 vote for red, 290,000 vote for blue, that's not good at math here. 69,000 for the voted. So 30, we've got 3,000, 300,000, 2,900. That would mean 3,100 people, all right, did not vote. So who actually won? Not voting won. Who got the most votes? Not voting is a vote. Blue team got just 30%. Red team got 29%. And no name team got 31%. They win. Or, I mean, I'm doing the math wrong because I'm an idiot, but you know what I'm saying? I mean, it would be 30, there'd be 33, 33, and 34. Okay. Sorry, I was doing the math to 90%. I'm an idiot. Throw my garbage. See, I don't throw that garbage math out. I'm drunk. I'm retarded. But you know what I'm saying? The side that doesn't vote has always been in the majority. Where do I watch it? Netflix and Amazon. I think Netflix has Altered Carbon and Amazon has. Is that Amazon, right? Is that what it's on? Westworld's on. Oh, no, is that no? Amazon's on. Or yeah, Amazon. Westworld's on HBO Prime. Yeah, there was a lot of interesting stuff because I told you before I even watched this whole season, we are already talking about um we're talking about the West Coast. We were talking about the Hoover Dam. What was a major theme of the show? Major theme of the show was the Hoover Dam. And when you get into what possibly dams were made for and why they flooded certain areas, and, ancient technology and the old world and whatnot, and what might happen because they broke the Hoover Dam in the show. They put a crack in it to go into another realm. There's a whole bunch of it must be telling you something. Jessica, no, thankfully not be like most people. Oh, you're welcome. Yeah. I talk in a way that if you're into symbol literacy and you can paint a picture in your head, you can understand what I'm saying. I don't like to talk in linear, orderly fashion. It's not enough fun to it, and it's too. I mean, if I'm telling you how to get somewhere, if I have to do my engineering thing and my programming thing, oh yeah, I can talk in steps 1 through 10. Uh, what if everyone in politics and entertainment were bots and clones from the 30s? I don't doubt that they aren't. It could be. I don't see that. Obviously, when we look into the infant incubators from the late 1800s, 1900s, and the World's Fairs, and people going to the World's Fairs, and it was really weird. A lot of whiteys there, no children, but they went to infant incubating things where you could look at live babies, you could buy them, and then orphan trains, and then the whole adoption thing that was going on then. It was right around that time. All the orphans were all the same age, looking all interesting, all white. Although babies that were coming from the infant incubators seemed to be coming from underground, and it was you can read some signs in these pictures. They're saying that they were growing a baby in something like a few weeks. It's weird shit, man. So I don't doubt that we've been. That again, I want to stress. This can't be stressed enough, and it needs to be. People need to put this into their brain and accept it. And it's that the technology that you have in front of you right here, it's crazy high technology, isn't it? You just accept it, but my shit ain't plugged into nothing. And somehow, here's a picture of me talking all this shit that goes to you way the fuck over there. How it gets there, I don't fucking know. It's a little magic box. It's something wavelengths smashing into that, goes to that thing. That shit goes out there, broadcast. It's all, and it your shit just decodes it all, goes right there. That's some crazy technology, dog. And this has been out for a while. Now, not only has this been out for a while for you as the general end consumer in public, you know how long this has been out that was in private hands, in government, in you know how long this has been out. You know how technology is about, some people say 30 years, 30 to 50 years. So 30, 50 years ahead, the technology that they're using. So right now, this shit right here that's in front of me, in all reality, was born in 60s. They had this right here, 70s. What you think you know of technology? Oh, this is a top technology. No, it's not. Not only and technology is not just, it's not just going like this. It's making a J curve. As we build technology, it doubles, and then it doubles itself. It's like a penny becomes $1 million in a month. That's how technology works too. So the technology that we're using is so far behind of what's going on out there. So in the 1950s, they were using shit that you were using in the year 2000. But you didn't know that it existed. Yet it was so. And that's just what they're telling you. You don't know that everything was just blocked off and firewalled from you having any knowledge of. Whether it was underground, I would say underground technology. You don't know that this shit hasn't, this should be 1,000 years old. You got 4 infants at work? Oh shit, Jesse, you got a lot of children. Yeah, for me, I'm all about. I wouldn't mind daycares. I don't want. I can't fuck with infants. No, no, no. I need like 3 to 6 year olds. I'm good with that. I need them capable of maybe crying. You know what I mean? Still in learning acquisition of language, playing, laughing, and the whole chaos of it. I like that. But I'm not wiping asses and changing diapers, and I don't need, I don't mind the energy and the chaos of it. But that would be prime real estate for I would have fun with that. But only part time. It's like you can take that little brat home. I can't deal with that brat all day. I already know it's too much. But it's fun. It's fun. It's kind of like a puppy. I kind of want to get a dog, but I would like it to be like past house training already. I don't want to. I don't have to deal with that much poop. And the thing about puppy though, it's that's all you're really dealing with. You're not dealing with a whining, crying puppy. But a baby, oh man, screw that. What is my opinion on Thelma? Oh, I've covered this many times. You get a workout, you stay in shape. Well, and it does keep you young. You know what I'm saying? You're around children, you kind of it makes you happier because then you're dealing with their happy laughter and their learning, and you go, wow, that's so interesting, so cool. And I mean, then you also deal with the holy shit, shut the fuck up. Stop crying. What's my opinion of Thelma? The law of 90, what is it? Law of 93. Oh yeah, feel free, guys. It's an hour and 45 minutes. I didn't even remind you. Thumbs up are always appreciated. That helps get this kind of shit out there. And there is my Cash App and PayPal and Venmo. As I said, I did overspend monetarily this weekend. Most of it wasn't even on me, too. It's so funny. Whenever I have money in my pocket, I end up spending it. So if you want to help revitalize my system, my bank account, you can donate to this guy, Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, TSR, capital XEN. If you need help individually, that's My email, theoluminous, TheoLuminous @gmail.com, and that means God light. And also, there's my WordPress if you want to read some of my old writings back to 2012. There you go. And thumbs up are great. So, what do I think of Thelma? I think that I'll say it very precisely again. When most people that say it, they'll use half the quote, and they use it to call it a demonic thing, some sort of evil thing. And I did a whole breakdown of this. You should watch the video. So I've done a video on this twice, but the last one is I framed it as mathematics for people. The statement is, and also because the evilest man, he's bald, he was doing sex magic. His name is they always associate that. And what they say is, he's demonic and he's evil, and these people are awful and they're bad. And it says, do as thou will. Oh, you're just going to do what you want? And I'm like, dude, you didn't read the whole thing. You can't just, if you're going to quote someone, quote the whole thing. You can't take half of it, which is taking half of the equation. Do as thou will. Yep, right? Oh, wait, there's more to it. Love is the law, love under will. Do as thou will is the whole of the law. Do as thou will is the whole of the law. Continue. Love is the law, love under will. So if love is the law and I'm taking love under will, and I say the whole of the law is, so we're doing a math problem here. You've got to equate love and will into what will is. So if I take will, the law is do as thou will is the whole of the law. But they're saying love is the law, love under will. I take will and I put a division and I put love under it, love under will. I have to divide my will by my love. So the law is an equation of will and love. Once you explain it that way, in fact, not only does it sound not evil, but it becomes the opposite of evil. Because you would never do something that was unloving. But everybody wants to, and it's the same cocksuckers that suck off the Bible and believe some Jesus guy was real. And they're the worst of the worst. They're the most hateful, spiteful, demonic people that I've ever listened to. Burning Christians, cutting off penises of babies. These people are crazy. And they're gonna call the law of Thelma and the people that are into the esoteric studies of these books. Every time I read anything by these people that are so-called magicians and evil and black and dark, as I'm reading the books, I'm like, I'm not seeing anything in here that even remotely sounds evil, bad, or you could misconstrue it, I guess. But if I read the Bible, I'm going to need the foreskins of Phoenicians. I'm going to need the foreskins of, that's what a God said. I'm going to need the foreskins of the Philistines, excuse me. Don't eat shrimp. Trade a sheep for woman. Woman should shut your mouth because you do not speak when a man is around. I mean, and there's wars happening and kill this thing and murder, death. I mean, that thing sounds pretty fucked up. But I'm reading the Law of Thelma. I'm reading these books, and I'm going. I'm not saying the problem here. I'm saying people misquoting things. That's fucked up. Yep. Thank you, a Damon. Thank you. Yeah, remember the movie called Golden Compass, and also Golden Compass did a whole series So the movie was great, and the series was magical too, because they used just as good of actors, and the cinematography was just as good. It was like, normally you would make the series would be kind of like some offshoot actors, and they used a lot of the same. They just took the movie and made it longer, and it was awesome. It was I forget the name. I forget what they changed the name to, but the Golden Compass. And the Golden Compass, they have the daemons in them. And the daemons were the little animals that were given to the youth, and the youth had them as part of their imagination and part of their learning. That was resembling them and their daemons. Most most of the adults didn't have daemons anymore, and they changed it to demons being something bad. And there was most of the demons were good. They were helpers. And if you look into what daemons are, as the helpers for humanity. So what have we done? Inverted everything. So demons are bad? Not really. What up, Kate? What did you say here? Men in Black. Oh, Men in Black's good too. What's the cat? What's the cat? The cat with water on its neck. There's some interesting connections to some stuff with that cat and why that's the world is around its neck, and what is the yeah, it gets into some other things. Oh, you watched the video on servitors? Which one is it? Because I got a bunch. Was it the one that I broke down the God form, the servitors, and it's on the right side of the screen, and then that one? I mean, because it's a series of four of them. An alter ego. Yeah, it's a little bit of an ego, I suppose. Yeah, you can definitely see it that way. Um, yeah, I don't being a Gemini, people are like, oh, that's you got two personalities, split personality. I'm like, well, actually, I'm a double Gemini. I'm a Sun and Moon Gemini, so I got four personalities. And in fact, I always say jokingly, you say, oh, you're bipolar. I'm like, no, I'm tripolar. It's just like everyone has so many different personalities. Well, my thought is this: if you have one personality, there's something wrong with you. If you treat every situation and everyone the same, as if there's like this equals this, and you have rigid morals and ethics, and every situation is the same, and this and this gets you this, that's a problem. If you have many different personalities, which you should, I'm gonna treat a puppy way different than I'm gonna treat a snake, different than I treat a duck, different than I'm gonna treat a child, different than I'm gonna treat somebody who's my waitress versus somebody that's taking my ticket versus some chick that I'm trying to make love to. It's completely wildly different. I'm gonna have different personalities for all those things. There we go. Thought forms, servitors, egregors, sigils, god forms. Yeah, there's a couple other ones I went into some of the other creating an actual being out of clay and getting into the hoodoo of it, which is not a good idea. Yeah. Cool, cool, cool. Let me go make myself a mixed drink because I'm almost out of this beer and I want to drink. If anybody wants to join me, feel free. Give me 2 minutes. I'll be right back. You guys enjoy this weirdness. I'll just put some music on in the background, and you guys, I'll be back. Give me 3 minutes. I think that will be enough. Well, well, well. Fish head, my. Well, how why I call you fish head? Sorry, I was looking at my private messages. So I likes my deadpan comedy. Yeah, I think that's what sometimes people don't get. Whenever sometimes I do a very like a straight man deadpan thing, and it confuses people on what I'm saying. I think, is he serious? No, he's got to understand it. Where are we at here? Thank you. The automatons have one personality, and anyone having multiple personalities, which is, I think, just different life experiences and perspectives, and the capacity to hold more than one idea in your mind that are contradictory, that are contradictory to each other, or more than two, five things that all are at odds with each other, and go, well, I don't know which one's right here, so let's see where they have to go. No, that's it right there. That's I don't care. That's what it is. And then if you somehow express the capacity for advanced thought, which I've explained many times, is the difference between a binary computer and a trinary computer. Binary computer is on or off. It's yes or no. It's black or white. It's up or down. Trinary computer has the capacity to say, I don't know, maybe, I don't know right now. And that I don't know right now is I need more information. So it leaves part of the test blank. Where someone that's in binary goes, question one, two, three, I got it on or off, on or off, on or, and they go straight to the end. And it doesn't matter that maybe they found out down here that the answer number four was wrong. They can't change that answer. It's already programmed in the computer. That's not going to change. Where a trinary computer will go, no, we don't know. We're just going to leave that blank, and we need more information. And it comes to the more information, then goes back here and can switch something. That's a trinary system, which tends to be human quality. CSM raccoon. Yeah, it's the So some people are trained to do this, which is called. You ever taken a class in school for how is it called? People that want to get into politics, or people that want to be lawyers, or people that want to public speaking. They go into these. What are they called? Where they just basically go and they'll take a. Here's your perspective you're arguing. Here's yours. Doesn't matter if you don't believe in it, but you're gonna argue to back it up. And they go into these. They go, oh, debate team. They become professional debaters. And while it's well for someone to open their mind to things, it's a great idea and a challenge, and it gets you to see multiple perspectives. But for the people that generally do those things, it just shows them how to lie effectively. That even if they don't agree with something, if that's going to support their opinion or their end goal, then they're going to use it, whether or not they believe it or not. Someone else that's not for their profession, if you take those type of classes, it just gives you the capacity to see something. Yeah, debate team. Yeah, and it gives you a different perspective. Well, why would they think that way? And the best is for when you do it from a level of like analysis of okay, hey, I'm into science, but let me understand why people are religious. And that's a huge one. Most people that are scientism people, they can't accept that they're into religious things too. They can see it, but they're always like so anti invisible man in the sky that they won't even go into what do you think. Why do you think it is? Why do you think it is these people believe in that? Why do you think it is they don't appreciate science? And it's there you go because they're stupid and they believe in invisible things and they don't believe in science. And they go, well, you ever think the images might not believe in the answer? And they think it's scientism, and that they find that sometimes having a hope or a faith in something has like about as much possibility of being true as how often they found that science was wrong. Science, the answer can be wrong all the time. It's already been shown to me plenty of times. Time and time again. It doesn't mean you should become religious, but for people to understand that, well, what's influencing the science? Nothing, except money, except preconceived values of things. There's so many things that are accepted now within the scientific community that have been out for, let's say, 50 years. But when someone first came out with that idea, science wouldn't allow for it. The scientific community, because there is a community, wouldn't allow for it because it went against everything that was all of the big names. Their ego was in the way, and they were supporting a technology or a tool or something that was being sold in the marketplace, especially in the drug companies, pharmaceuticals. Their idea wasn't supporting that. It'd take a long time before somebody goes, oh, well, we've come to the conclusion that was right. So it was right for 50 years. It was right the entire time, but because of the pressure of the institution, won't allow for anything to change. So I mean, they can't accept that because they're into scientism. In the same way that, so this is why it's religious. Religious people can't accept it. Like we've continually disproven the existence of these things that are in the book, and we've continually proven it's allegory. But because their faith is as strong as the faith that scientists people have. What's up, Ranzan? What you doing? Yeah, well, we can laugh at people who believe in mainstream science that does religion. What we're going to find out is that stuff in religion is more esoteric, connected to the stars, the human body, states of consciousness. It's a philosophical book. It's a psychological book. It's a map of the human body, as long as we know what it's saying. And it has a little bit of historical references, a little bit. And we're going to find that to be more true. And we're going to find the scientism, that the method of science is great, but the results that we're getting, oh man, we're going to find that to be even more hysterical. I mean, it's as easy as saying 50 years ago, nobody was really, the programming was so hard, no one believed anything but this was a heliocentric flying through space marvel. It was very hard to come by people that were believing anything otherwise. Now, with the advent of the internet, access to information, and more people coming to terms with reality, we're starting to kind of comprehend that the realm that we live on is not what we've been told. The water seems to be flat, and the sun and the moon are out in the sky at the same time, and all these other little things that are going in and just becoming more obvious. Colin, do I think that chakras are a new age deception thingy? I don't know. Considering they're all kind of connected to your organs, energy centers, and that they've been written about, it seems to be in a lot of ancient literature. It seems to be having a little footing in traditional Chinese medicine. It seems to have footing in acupuncture, which goes back. It seems to have its roots connected to all sorts of things that seem to have, I mean, I can throw energy out of my hands. I know Reiki to be true. I know that I'm pushing. I can see. I know that my higher consciousness in my third eye works. I can open the shit. I can see out of it. You know what I mean? it does seem that there is an energy center of power within my Muladhara, and like you call it whatever you want, but yeah, a lot of people say, oh, new agey, deception, chakras are evil. Those are the same people that saying doing mudras is evil. Yeah, doing yoga. There's people that legitimately come out and say yoga and mudras are evil. Well, your boy Jesus is standing there doing this, right in your church that you go to. Yeah, right. So no, I don't think so, man. Not really. Yeah, Colin, I hear you. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. It could be. It could be. But here's how I would answer that pretty simply. D does it seem to have a real world effect? Let's use a scientific method. Is it improving the health and well-being of the practitioner? I think that's the only way we can tell. I mean, what outside of us can we see from that? Hey, maybe people that believe in that or actually scientifically can prove it. There's books written that are hundreds of pages long by doctors that break down the biology of Kundalini, like from all of the chemicals and things going on and pressure systems and what's going in the body. And it's gonna, that's called, look it up. It's called the biology of Kundalini. So what can we see as an outcome of somebody that studies chakras and yoga and all this? They seem to be in better health. They seem to be moving more effectively through space. They seem to be calmer. They seem to create things, comfortable spaces and environments. They seem to have a better disposition with the world. They seem to be doing less harm. So the real world effect is it seems to be doing something. Can we put that against? Can we check it out scientifically? Maybe their heart rate's better. Is their blood pressure down? Oh, there we go, scientifically proven. Do they need less medication? Seems like they do. They need less. It seems like are there people that are making some like things manifest into reality because of using them? It seems so. A little more hard to verify. Yeah, and a lot of the new agey stuff. There's stuff that's ancient, but the new age has attached itself to it and turned it into the new agey bullshit, the hocus pocus. Like, obviously, we know let me try to use this example. There's plenty of things that were known to be true that then they attach this goofy shit to it that that makes it look all stupid and new agey. Let's say vegetarian diet. A vegetarian diet, great idea for many reasons. Fruit, vegetables, good idea. Now we call it vegan and attach it to something, and we've ruined it in so many ways because now there's other things. So people are just making something that's vegetarian and go, oh, it's a vegan raw fucking jack off. Like, here, we can just, everything's vegan. It's called love and light, bro. And they fucked up the whole thing in the practice that was organic and original. Here's some things we know about. We know astrology. We know these things to be where the energies are in the sky. We know the sun makes a plant rise, and we can heat the world and create food. And we know that there's energetics of that moon that are causing, that's a cold light, and we know what they do. And now there's other bodies out there of energy that are having an effect on you when you're born, personality traits that can be changed, altered. Sure, I can change what the sun is doing. If I put things into a greenhouse, I need less sun. I can warm that thing up. So now the nighttime, I could even grow things at night with, so we can alter energies, certainly, but we know that to be true. Now we have jackasses that we have so flaky, dumb, goofy motherfuckers that make it look stupid. It's like the thing with Shivambu. Go watch any of these My strange addiction. Or look at this person, swears it's making their life better and they're healthier. And who are they? They're fucking nutso with 100 cats and looks like they're falling apart. Looks like, the crazy aunt, and by um oops, thereby co-opting a real fact, a real truth to something something looks stupid. What have they done? They've thereby just diminished just by it's like character assassination. Once you make somebody doubt a product, an idea, a person, a teaching, that's all you need to do. Put doubt in their mind, and then all of a sudden, it's eliminated. It doesn't eliminate its fact or its truth. It just eliminates what people's perception of it is, and perception becomes everything. What do you think they did? What do you think they tried to do with alternating current versus direct current? Remember? Oh, it's killing animals. What do they try to do with electric cars? Why do you think we're not using electric cars? They rid it. They got the perception, public perception. Doesn't change the truth of it. Well, yeah, I mean, the justice system runs on one thing bigger than that: money. It's the deepest level to it is it's connected to banking institution. That's it. But yes, and even within that, there is doubt and faith, which is we have to have faith that the dollar bill is going to be able to be used tomorrow. Is the dollar bill worth the same it was? Not anymore. We just a dollar's worth a dollar. No, it's not. Not now, man. I just spent. I wanted to order some food because I'm hungry, and now 3 years ago I could have got a delivery because gas prices were less. I could have paid for delivery and felt fine tipping the driver $3. Uh, the food getting there was cheaper, so they produce it cheaper. So my $10 would have got me a pizza delivered right to here, and I'd been happy. Now I'm $20 in before I even started ordering. You know what I mean? Now there's a fee connected to it, delivery charge. I got to tip the person better because I know they're putting more gas in their car. The pizza's more expensive because getting the product there is all that's more expensive. So, yeah, I mean it's all a show. It's all connected to. I mean, when you get into English and well, I can't really say English, but the British. There's a whole connection there. But yeah. It's perception of value of things. If there was no monetary system, if there was the that system wouldn't be in place because nobody would want to be a lawyer. No one would be into those positions. Nobody would. There wouldn't be anything to sue people over anymore. There'd be so many. I mean, the amount of superfluous lawsuits now. Why? Why do they exist? Because somebody thinks they can play that game that we were talking about earlier, play a drama game, and then who's better at arguing? Remember that woman that spilled hot coffee on her crotch from McDonald's? Sued McDonald's and won. How idiotic! What? And then you remember what their point was? Oh well, they were serving coffee. It was too hot for human consumption, anyways. So now, was that true? Maybe. I never liked coffee that hot. I didn't eat it that hot. Some people really like coffee super hot. I don't fucking know what that's about. But now they had to change the whole rule because of that. Now we have dumbest shit, man. But if we did get rid of the value of the dollar changes, value of dollars change, systems would change. Colin, back to zombie apocalypse, season 4, the tower, and zombies. I mean, hey, your boy, what the hell's his name on Instagram? He's on YouTube now too. What was his name? Hmm. Anyways, there's plenty of people that are doing it, but he's been posting lately about all the crazy stuff, um, of like zombie stuff, people coming back to life, fish, dead fish, they're like coming back to life and doing things, and like all sorts of zombie-like behavior. Now, granted, in one sense, these people are this is on news station, so it could be faulty. But in another sense, I know you've been seeing these people out here that are just acting foolish. You just turn on your memes and your Instagram and your YouTubes, and we're talking about real people just out there acting a fool, completely zombie-like. And so between the goo, between the electrical pulses, and turning those people into just turn them on and they start. I don't doubt it. And again, when we've been primed and prepped for it, in one sense we're projecting the reality in one sense, but in another, so they're priming us, but they're also giving us like, hey, this is what's going to happen, whether it's organic or inorganic, it doesn't matter. I could think all day that none of that's true. I could have faith like a mustard seed. None of that's true, but the sun is there. There's the moon. Plants are growing. There's a house. There's dogs. There's reality, and there's things going on. And there's people that are literally on drugs. There are people that have implants of fake boobs and lips. They have circuitry in them. All sorts of things going on out there, man. And these zombie things. I mean, the predictive programming doesn't matter that if it's like, no, everything's mental, and we're even if so, I'm not gonna I can't I'm not gonna outweigh 10 million people that are already infected and then believe it. My belief is not, I can't. So what we have the capacity to do is go, okay, how do you deal with zombies? I already got it worked out in my head. Why and also, why would they have so many zombie movies? You think just out of nowhere they just came up with that? Let's keep doing that. There must be something connected to reality. There must be some correlation to something that we know. Yeah. Why do we there's these little bugs around, right? And people are like, ooh, disgusting and fearful. What if because we lived in a reality that those things were actually really big before? And maybe they were hunting the world, maybe they overtook the world. Who knows? So maybe there's something in our psyche, something in our ancestry. So even though it's a little bug, step on that fucking thing, kill it. Because we knew they were here to infect or poison, whatever. But the zombie thing too, maybe that, maybe we know maybe we know that's the truth, or that's going to happen. Whether it's, again, organic, inorganic, whether it's some sort of parasite, or it's black goo, or it's programmable material, or whatever. I would, what's funny? I used to never watch those zombie movies, um, because they freaked me out. And then one day, when I started looking at TV different, I go, okay, I'm watching all this stuff that used to be kind of scary to me. And it's no longer scary to me because I look at it from a point of, what do I have to learn here? What am I looking at? I turned the TV on and became 100% objective about it. What is it saying? What's the coding? What's the why are they putting that number there? What's the thing over here? Because they're clearly doing that on purpose. What message are they trying to convey? And then there there was something that when I was in Baltimore, I worked at the airport, and all these people would always say there was language they would use. Kind of the people from the ghetto in Baltimore. They would never say, "What are you watching?" We'd be downstairs watching TV. They wouldn't say, "What are you watching?" They said, "What are you looking at?" And it always kind of struck me. Why don't they say watching? Why are they saying looking at? And it became apparent that their perception was that they're looking at a television and it's separate, that they're looking at it. It's like this. If you're watching something, you're in there invested in part of where, like, see people that are breathing all heavy and they're invested in their part of the thing. They start mouth breathing and they become hypnotized. These people, I could tell, were not hypnotized by it. And their language displayed that by saying, what are you looking at? It's a movie. I've seen the shit. So I started looking at movies. You look at it. It has nothing to do with me. What is it trying to tell me? Do share the zombie thing? Well, I'll tell you from my perspective. Through all the movies that I've watched and just what it appears that will happen. Should I start another? Okay, I guess there's enough people here now. I can just video kill the radio. Start with parcel. Okay, there's enough people here now. I was going to start it from the beginning, but fuck it. Okay, let's just put the whole thing together. There's the chaos of the world, the reset, plasma apocalypse, whether it's organic or inorganic, computer systems getting fucked up. Obviously, economies are crashing as we speak. We're in the middle of it, and motherfuckers don't even know. Like, they really don't even know. You think this is just it's called hyperinflation and shit. There's lots of things going on. There's going to be all sorts of things that are going on with electricity, with things falling over, floods. Didn't anybody see Pakistan? What is it, 30 million people that flooded out? Like, thousands of people are dead from mud floods. Go check it out. Again, I don't take what I see on the media, and it's not even that popular media. I had to search for it. Shouldn't that be known to everybody? Nobody knew about this shit. And again, that numbers could be wrong, could be inflated, could be whatever. But I've been around places that I've seen some natural disasters or unnatural disasters, and they might be propping up the worst areas of it, but it's definitely going on. I've been in a flooded city. I've been without power for weeks. So I know these things are true. So now going into this plasma apocalypse, zombie apocalypse, power grids going down. There's going to be a lot of things that are happening at once. The access to food, them turning out, what up, Mr. Mannion? Access to food, ability to access it, because of if your computer ain't working, internet ain't working, you got no power, how are you buying anything? If they've already screwed up the dollar value, even if you had dollar bills, it'd be hard to buy things. And after a while, you can't go to the bank can't open, because the bank would be giving you dollars for electronic currency, which you can't even access. So that's going to be a whole thing. Then their order system based on computers. These trucks need gas, the whole thing. Put all of that together. They pumping out that 5G network, because they still have the capacity of they still have their capacity to put power on in certain places and to pump out, even without power, the internet was still on. I was still able to access the internet. So anyway, so they're pumping out frequencies and doing things. They got zombies you got people that can't get their medicine. You got people that aren't eating. People freaking out. Got actual zombies happening. Where are they going? What are they doing? How long before it's absolute insanity? How many days? At what point, when people's refrigerators don't work, the food's gone bad, power ain't on, what point is things start to go a little south, go a little chaotic? What would I do? Well, as I've pointed out before, there's not a really good reason to go and just unravel your life from where you live and go live in the mountains or in the a rural area, because again, if you go to a rural area, if something major happens, everyone from the outskirts that in the city, they're going to start to dissipate to go find food. So you're going to be out there with your farm. Where do you think these people are going? They're coming to your motherfucking farm. That's right. They're going to come to your farm and be taking your crops. So you better be holding on for it. You're going to have more chaos to deal with. All right. So I don't think that's a good idea. Obviously, if you live in a major city, you're going to take a brunt of the blow right at the beginning, where that's going to be the whole every movie you've seen with the city. But after a little bit, everything dissipates. I would live in a smaller city. I like where I am. I think I'm in one of the best places for a zombie apocalypse for a bunch of reasons. It's a small enough city. I have access to water. I'm near. It stays warm. There's food. There's trees. There's plants. There's everything's growing. I have a waterway to go places. I got fresh water. I'm not too close to the city. It's not too chaotic. I got all that right. And I'm gonna stay on a high floor. Whether it's just human beings trying to get food or it's actual zombies, they don't go all the way up the stairs. Ain't no reason they ain't gonna make it past a couple floors. If someone's on the first floor trying to rob, steal, or zombies trying to do shit, all of the fighting's going on there. They're trying to take all the fruits and veggies and things, whatever they got. They're trying to get their shit. They ain't going. They're not making it top floor. I just hang out up here. Fuck, I gotta do. Got a few stragglers up here, and what I'm definitely not gonna have, I'm not gonna have an overabundance of supplies, not food wise. What am I gonna have? All the ammunition and all the food? Where are people gonna? Once they figure that out, where do they go? Where the food and the ammunition is? It's pointless. Then I become. So what would I need? What do I do? Fucking chill out, stay up here, read some books, look out the window, maybe get myself a bow and arrow, start picking off zombies out there. I don't fucking know. What do I need? I already know I can survive on piss. Clean water. Get some. I need gallons of water. My piss. Minimal amount of food, just for fun. I already told you I would get. And for afterwards, after we bang out some of the zombies and the people that are like trying to just survive, it's not that won't take very long. That will happen real quick. I would want to have whatever things make life more comfortable and whatever is tradable. Everybody wants to get their gold and silver. It's not going to do shit for you. If the dollar crashes, what am I walk down the street with a block of silver or gold? What are you doing with it? It's not tradable. It has no intrinsic value. I've already explained this to people 1,000 times. Nobody gets it. I'm gonna get gold and silver because those are tangible assets, and I can right now because they're given a market value based upon what might be done with some technologies and its value within high technology, but those technologies are not going to be there. And it's like saying, what are you going to have diamonds? Nobody wants your fucking diamonds. Diamonds are worthless. Diamonds are about as plentiful as anything on the planet. They're artificially raised in price. There's nothing very valuable about a diamond. Nothing very valuable about gold so your gold and silver reserves are stupid. What would you need? You'd want tobacco, weed, chocolate, clean water. These things. What are the basic fundamental things that easily carry, you can easily trade, carry, people desire, and liquor. That's what you need. Medicine, drugs, those things will be very, very important. And you need your standard bug out bag of things. Stay top floors. I don't know. Zombies, dog. I don't know. You're gonna have to have fun. It's always funny in the zombie movies. Whenever like somebody that gets bit by one, And then you're just like, you got to kill it. Like, that's no longer the person I know. Where are we at here? What's up, David Mannion? Uh, TX for you. What's up? Oh yeah, there we go. The toilet paper. There we at. What's up, TX? I'm guessing that's Texas. Oh yeah. Okay. Well, if food is becomes scarce, water. Okay, people will fight. People will fight over alcohol, but they'll go to war over water and food, for that matter. Right. So people will initially starving and searching for food because they think they're hungry, despite the fact of not really being hungry. They're addicted to food. But yeah, that would be way more chaotic. And people are literally fighting in stores over toilet paper. The fact that they convince people, a they convince people that we're running out of toilet paper. Like, well, so use less toilet paper. I don't fucking tell you. You probably have less food. You're probably shitting less. What is the problem here? Gonna have to wipe my ass. That's the most important thing to people. That's insane. So they convince people that they needed more, convince people to buy more, and then stop shipping it. So imagine when it's actually something important. I don't know, man. Much chaos. Oh shit, David. Two mates in Ireland. Nah, shit. What? Yeah, I've been hearing about that in other countries, man. That I seen some bills for some places. I don't remember where, but of some places in smaller towns in Europe that like basically were saying, I don't know what I'm like a coffee shop or something, and they showed a bill for something absurd, like $3,000. They're like, normally my bill was like maybe 1,000 because I'm a coffee shop, I got electricity. They're like, and they're like, the problem is not that it's like, of course this is way too expensive. I can still operate, but this is crazy. But the problem is, in a couple months, it's already said going to be going up another percentage, another 50%, another whatever percent. Like, and if you can afford to pay three times your bill, that's not very many places. All of a sudden, yeah, it's closing things up left and right. What happens? It's going to take a while, even if the economy were to bounce back in any way. What's going to bounce back as? A bunch of big businesses with a lot of money that can buy up those small spaces, buy them up, and all of a sudden everything's back under the umbrella corporation, the big company. Or and the people that would be buying those out, they're still going to be connected in some way. So those mom and pop shits are going to nowhere. That's crazy though. And I hear you on that the bank thing. Uh, yeah, Colin, that's the big thing. Barter is in popular times. You're not bartering money. Even those games where like people are trading bottle caps. Bottle caps are gonna have value. That doesn't make any sense. It makes zero sense. I'll air 5 bottle caps for something. So if you find bottles of something, you just get free money. That's not a point of trade. In apocalyptic times, you need to trade something that has intrinsic usable value right now. There'll be no trade here. If you have this, trade for this. There's none of that going on. There's not like, here, I'll give you $1. What's this going to do? Can I eat it? No. Can I burn it? Can I smoke it? Can I get high off it? Those, yeah. Clean water, tobacco, weed, alcohol, chocolate, food. That's it. You gotta get your Maslow's. You gotta talk to Maslow there. Funny talking. Yeah, like, hey, where'd you go and meet up if there's a zombie outbreak? I'll tell you where. Y'all know where the fuck I live. I'll be fine. I'm good. I mean, I'm not prepped for it completely. Like I didn't do all the like end of the world prep work shit. Because I assume if I'm supposed to live through it, I'm gonna live through it. I have that much confidence, faith, whatever, in myself or whatever the reality is that it does not stress me too much. And I'm also not hoping for it, but I'm kind of like everything is kind of pointing in that direction, ain't it? It'd be wild if it happens. If you watch the movies and you're like, oh man, I would totally fucking love to fight some zombies. You sure, dude? You sure you want to do that? Have you ever taken a hammer to someone's skull before? I don't think you have. I don't know if you really want that. I don't care even if it is a zombie. So I mean, there's all of that is going to be going on. But I'm kind of I kind of think I kind of my assumption is this that most of the chaos and the it will happen very quickly amongst the people that are in that area. Like the zombies would be what's stopping zombies from taking other zombies out, unless it is computer programmed or whatever. It's going to be the people in the poorest of areas with the most. I don't give a shit anyways. Probably have more weapons. They'll be taking out the zombies to begin with, and then you got people that are the more richy people. They're going to get eaten up and killed pretty quickly, and then the humans will take over their spots. They'll be living in the where oh well look at this here's Mr. Johnson. He got the $2 million house. Everything's prepped, kitchen's all in order. They're just gonna take that house over. Zombies, we just marked all the zombies. I think that would be the trade. And then you just I think it's gonna just trade where population is. And we're just gonna have a lot of dead zombies in the streets that now that's something in all the zombie movies. You never see you see them traveling around, right? And you never see the dead. You see the giant zombie things coming through, but you never see them dead. Like next time they're walking around, where's all the dead zombies? They just killed all these motherfuckers. Where do they put them? What do they do with the bodies? They're just gone. The next show, they're all gone. Next season, where do they go? And even they never show you where's all the animals now that are the animals get away from the zombies? They're not going to be eating the bodies. Are they cadavering? What's happening here? Just a couple questions. They never show those. But like, hey, I mean, imagine that. I mean, streets going to be filled with dead bodies. The stench. Ugh. That's another thing that's going to move people too. Just the general smell. Just be leaving. What up, Texas? You heard about you heard a story recently about people selling their private parts to be able to pay for electricity. What do you mean? Like you mean just like prostituting? What are you talking about? People are crazy. What up, Divine? Hey, Divine Dispenser. I need hope, not despair. I don't know. I don't have either. I don't have hope for the majority of humanity. I think most of humanity is toast. I don't think they're alive anyway. I don't really have despair. I'm not. It's kind of you know. It's a zero sum game. Let's have some fun while we're here. Not in despair, apathetic, but I don't really have hope. Hope for what? Hope is fucking dead, dog. Hope hope is for people that have given up all semblance of reality. Hope and faith. Yeah. Hope in one hand, shit in the other. See which comes through first. you know. Hey Divine, what you talking about? You just took a weird turn here. Q posts are legit. Are you saying this is a joke? And Andrew Tate, I've already discussed both of those things. Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm sure that the new world will look nothing like a satanic world. Yeah, I don't think so. I think you know, whatever major scenarios change, like in the other side of it will be way cooler, way more better, of course. But the onslaught of stupidity, we're already immersed in stupidity. We're already surrounded by NPCs and robots and vampires and all sorts of whatever weird shit's going on. It's already everywhere. So I mean, it's just the I think it will be the in a sense if you're sick, you got to shit things out, you got to vomit things up, you got to burn things off. If you're parasites, like the parasites will some way somehow die, whether in the body or outside of the body, as within so without kind of thing. What's up, Frank? I'm sure he probably did, man. Oh, you just watched Idiocracy? Yeah, what a good movie, huh? A prostitute. Well, here's the thing: people would prostitute themselves out for quite a while, anyways. I mean, as long as when did the dating apps turned into basically prostitution apps, and then at first they were using what Instagram a little bit, and then they went the route of just doing the whatever that other shit's called, OnlyFans and those kind of things, and yeah, you know, chicks been out here prostituting for a while. And once the internet came out, man, chicks became full unadulterated prostitutes. No longer could you just have the ethical slut. No longer could you just have the morally bankrupt a whore. No longer do we have these, you know, just hey, I'm just free and I'm polygamous. I like to have multiple partners. You can't. They don't exist no more. Now it's every one of these chicks out here is almost certainly some type of prostituting themselves for money, for new clothes, for food, and some of it is because it's easier. Some of it's because they make more money, but a lot of it now is more because it's hard out here in these streets, man. It's hard here in the city. It's hard to get a job. It's hard to make enough money to even pay rent. Understandable. But they're you know, it's the amount of chicks that I'm like, huh, what's the chances that you're dating a chick? What's the chances she doesn't have an OnlyFans? What's the chance she's not doing something to make money on the side? You know, a couple chicks that I dated that when I first started, I'm like, huh, where's your money coming from? And I was like, oh, of course. I mean, I should have known right away. I was like, oh, you super sexy. Oh, you just like this? You're kind of flirty? Oh, I should know. Prostitution is subjective? No, it's not. Prostitution is an absolute. Everyone, look, everyone's a prostitute. Using they're prostituting their time and energy to do things they don't want to do to make money. If that's the kind of what it is. Most prostitutes, you know, they're trading sex. If you just say it from the sex value for money, some people are like they're just like it's just sex. It's the oldest profession. It's just what I do. You know, this is my life. I like it. It brings people happiness. Blah blah blah. Some people are just that. But yeah, like prostitution and slavery. Okay, to the degree of what it could be, no, we're not dealing with that. But you know, we get enslaved to systems. We prostitute ourselves out. There's plenty of things that people. We were talking about this the other day. I forget who it was. Was it you? We were talking about. You know, what would you? There are people right now making $80,000 a year as a veterinarian or working on a farm, and their job is to, as we were saying the other day, to jerk off horses. Jerk off horses. Now, what would it cost for you to jerk off a horse? And they do that. They do that like as a job, as a profession. They're making horse babies, and the way they do it is they grab and start fucking. We're saying so that to me that's disgusting, well beyond prostitution. I think that's filthy. How much would it cost? You would, but if somebody says, I'll give you $1 million to do this once, I don't know. I don't know if I would do it. That would never vanish from your brain that you stroked off a horse. You're stuck with that. On the other hand, $1 million, I could pretty much put that house where I want it, get this thing in order, got to get myself a jet ski. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like you kind of everybody's got their costs. What are they going to prostitute themselves out for? Oh yeah, if you bring a camera with you, then it's pornography or art. It could be, yeah. It's like the difference between. Hold on. It's the difference between, what is trash versus. Oh no, that's artistic. Ooh, it's a really artistic shot. The girl goes, oh no, I'm just I do artistic work. So it's like it's a nice room. It's got lighting, soft fabrics, shadows. This is artistic. It's classy. She drinks a glass of wine. Afterwards, they use oils and rub down sex. We don't put that on there, but it's classy pictures. Ain't no different than lights on. It's in a garage. I don't give a fuck. Let's cover you in marshmallow pudding and there's a fucking fuck fest in here. And we say all that. Same fucking thing. That's subjective in that way. Are there any fictional books that I recommend? Well, because fiction is now nonfiction, I much prefer movies. I don't, as many books as I've read and have right now. I just don't prefer books. I like the theme, but I don't fucking feel like reading it. There's a lot of cool stuff out here. Brandon Sanderson. I've not read the whole thing, but it's the Mystic trilogy, something is it called. I started reading that, and then I was like, oh, this is going to be a long read, but it was really good. And so I was trying to find all the audios on it. I like audiobooks are fine. I got a bunch of books. Off the top of my head, I don't really know. And if you like reading fictional, oh man, anything in the realm of like that might be some sort of fun spiritual thing connected to it, some sort of adventure shit, something with a bit of magic. Texas, what you talking about? I'm putting what together through medical school. Oh yeah, no man, they're just putting themselves through medical school. Yeah, right. I did, however, I did know some chicks that were strippers that legitimately were paying for school. I get it. That's what they all say. And most of them maybe are going to school, and but they're never going to use their degree. Never going to do that, because their thought is, well, now my excuse is I got to pay for school, and then they're going to get a degree in something, and then they're going to, when they get to the end, even though they got to know, they have to know it. They get to the end of school and they're going to have their degree, and they're going to go, all right, let's go hand in some resumes. And they go, what did you used to do? They're not going to put on their resume they used to be a stripper. They're not going to do that, right? But they might. Oh, I worked at this restaurant, or I worked at this place. I was a server. Whatever. They're gonna go try to get this job, and they're gonna say starting salary is $40,000, and they're gonna go $40,000, knowing damn well that's what the starting salary is gonna be, and go, ooh, I make how much a night stripping? Huh? They're gonna take that much of a pay cut? Lifestyle? I can work. I ain't even really got to work. It ain't even that hard. It's kind of fun. I feel free and expressive. And all of a sudden, they're gonna be doing that until their 30s, 40s. They might take that job and still on the side, but no, they're not gonna. We ain't fooling nobody. I did know a couple though that they were going to school for something good. Oh, they want to be nurses, right? Yeah, yeah, because a nurse makes that much money. A nurse doesn't make that much money. Stop kidding yourself. He just wanted to wear that blue, the sexy blue shit with the stethoscope and the Crocs. I know what you wanted. Divine, how is the food in New Orleans for a vegan? Surprisingly, recently, there's quite a big. It took over everywhere. You know what I mean? I didn't take over, but the amount of places that you can find vegan stuff or that is on that vegan train, there's quite a bit. It was at first when I first moved here, when I was hardcore vegetarian, it was a little bit difficult to find great vegetarian food. There's always options because there's vegetables on the menu, but and then as it became like the vegan thing became kind of super mainstream, there became more places that were offering vegan, vegetarian type options here. But by that time, I'd already gone the route of saying, "Fuck it all, I'm eating what I want." So I don't really look out for it anymore. You know what I'm saying? But I do notice that there's a lot more restaurants that have it. I'd stroke a horse for $1 million. I don't know, man. I think that if someone said it to me, I would give it thought. I would give it thought. If they put $1 million in front of me in a briefcase, and so there you go. It'd be close to like I'd be in the 90 percentile. You know, it's like would you punch your mother in the face for $1 million? Guess that depends on how much you like your mother. Some people would be like, "Fuck, I do it for free." Brandon, you think the news ran on it was just creating a place for relaxing the temperature of what's going on today? Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, that's what they use the news for now. It's to propagate what they can see, how people what they're going to talk about. It's basically just real time water cooler. Like is our programming working? What are they talking about, and how are they talking about it? Are they just repeating talking points? Or are they giving actual thought to what was going on, what was said? Abra Abramovich is considered art. I prefer Ingress. Oh, I know you're talking about. Yeah, I know. I don't know. I don't. The people that she's connected to and the kind of things that a little bizarre, but some of it I don't give a shit. I like weird shit too, man. They popularize, oh, that's so demonic and evil, and like, yeah, granted, some people might be doing some real evil shit. They might be trying to unearth crazy stuff and eating babies for real. Maybe it's part of some twisted practices of certain. Why not? But I don't think most of them are doing that. Not to that level. No way. I think it's. I think it's. I think it's more of it's a play on it. It's like just because you say, it's let's symbolically reference something. I mean, just because you symbolically reference killing a bird, the idea isn't that you're really killing a bird. The idea is, okay, a falcon symbolizes this idea and da da da. So that's what they're using symbolic reference. But like the art shit, like I don't know, whatever. You go to places, there's a chick, she's naked, and you're eating sushi off of a naked chick. Cool, sexy. Why not? But then they always gotta say there's something evil, there's evil demonic things happening. I don't like her face, but any movies that you've seen? There are lots of good stuff. Man, okay, how about this? I'll do my next show, and I'll just turn on my my Netflix and my Amazon and whatever house, and I'll scroll through like what I purchased and what I have on in there, and I'll think about that because it's on the top of my head. I have no idea where to go with that. Divine Dispenser, Abrahamovich is a Charlie. I mean, here's what I know for certain that you don't know. You don't know that. It's all an act. It's all a show. Perhaps, maybe, but you're talking about how many steps are you removed from that person? You are so many steps removed. You might say 7 steps, but you don't know. Some of these people, I don't doubt it. I don't doubt they're probably doing some fucked up things, but most of the magic that is done in black, white, or other occulted shit, it tends to be not as absurd as hoodoo, where you're actually cutting open a chicken and using its blood, but a lot of it is symbolic references of things. And I don't, I don't agree or disagree with that. I just don't know I never hung out with it. I can make no assessment. It's like watching, how these people say, oh, that person's like this in Hollywood. Like, where are you getting the thing I always have for people that take a hard line on shit like this is you realize where you're getting your opinion from is the same people that are connected to the people that are doing it. Like, if the media is telling you about what Hollywood's doing, Hollywood is the media. So either they're telling you to misdirect you, they could be falsifying it. Or they might be really doing it and is laughing, or they might not be doing it to say, see, look at how we can easily sway you to believe something that's not true. So now you believe all this. Oh, they're evil. They're killing babies. They're sucking the blood out of the innocent, and they're doing all this and I know it because who told you so? Well, the people that. What if they're lying to make you all like weird and scared and fearful of these things? Maybe that's my position on it because I personally don't know anybody that's done any of these things. I know people that practice all sorts of magic. I know people that are somewhat famous. I know some people that are into movies, and as far as I know about them, pretty cool people. Man, I don't see them sitting out there trying to suck blood. I don't know what the fuck. Maybe they've been in some orgies. Maybe I've been in some orgies. I don't know. Maybe I've done drugs. I don't fucking know. You know what I mean? Like who fuck cares? If they are, the step beyond that must be understood again with all of the things, the Hollywood, the media, the politicians, whether or not any of it's true. And most of it I don't believe. I think it's just an act, All of these, oh, we got these bad guys. Nothing happens to any of them. And even if it were to happen, the possibility 99% of the time is they didn't die, they weren't killed, they just went on to a different contract, they moved to a different country, they went to a different realm, they put a different mask on, it's a different show, and the only thing they've done is change your perception of what's going on that you have no control over. That's the most important part to know about this. You can't do anything about it, and you won't. That's what they're telling you again and again. If it is happening, you're not stopping it. All you're doing is bitching about it. You're not going and finding where they're doing this and releasing and saving all the babies, are you? You're not, that's the point. And you're not going to. or it's not happening to as a frequent extent, or by the people that we're being told it is. Blade Runner, I watched that. Colin, yeah, Blade Runner 2049. Yeah, I've seen that one. It was really good. Which is funny because I watched it and I hadn't seen the original one, and I thought it was a different movie, and that's why I put it off watching for like a year. And then I watched it. I was like, yeah, that was really good. No, Frank, yeah, or orgy with Betty White and Wolf Blitzer. Yeah, I mean, if it was that other one in the Golden Girls, that tall one, I mean, she probably had a dong anyways, right? Hey, Fishhead Heathen, are you still in here? Um, where are we at here? Oh, you just asked me something a second ago. Medical reps make more than I'm guessing money. Oh, medical reps make more than medical doctors do. Less overhead, more perks. Yep. Medical reps make the most money. Drug salesmen. Yeah. And brands and Juniper said we're stroking each other for some gain somehow. Yeah, that one that was absolutely a dude. I mean the chances of much of Hollywood being the original sex, there are some that were born male or female that stayed that way. A lot of them that were uh, already going through the T cell, the trans cells, changed from one sex to another. Some were as a child, you know, chopped up, changed, installed, hormone replacement. I mean, so you can't be like, oh, these people are evil. See, that's the thing you don't understand. Like, you can't blame these people. They came out the womb. They're born into that cult. They're born into as a child. They were already mutilated and mentally traumatized. So most of these people are not, you can't be like, oh, they're a trans. Well, then they fucking are. That's just what it is. I mean, yes, when some of them choose later in life, but those are already people that have been damaged to the point where they just want to be part of Hollywood. And they'll go through anything to be part of that, to be in the club. But again, there's majority. What is it? Victoria's Secret. The secret is that they're all men. Yeah, B. Arthur. Yeah, I mean, when you look into it, it's been going on a long time. There's some really creepy, weird photos of like early days of Hollywood. Going back to whatever 20s, 30s, 40s, where you see these pictures and you're like, and they're calling it a woman, and you're like, the makeup wasn't as good as it is now, and you can tell clearly it was a man. And especially if you go farther back into acting in these troops and these crews through all of the years, they didn't allow women in theater. It was all men dressed as women. You know? And when you get into men wearing wigs in all sorts of like George Washington or people that were in those times, or getting into like the legalese and all that stuff, it was taking the purpose was taking out a representation of women to a degree. There was something going on there. That's a long story. I haven't really researched that fully or studied, but it has something to do with that. Kind of this taking the power of the woman somehow, creative power. Well, welcome everyone. 3 hours into the show. Hope everybody's doing well. And as you know, this is what I do to keep a roof over my head, so I'll be here for the zombie apocalypse. I do need to upgrade my alcohol and water and food. I'm kind of low on those. If you want to, CashApp, PayPal, Venmo. You just want to buy a brother a drink, you can do that. And I appreciate it.
There's also other ways of getting a hold of me. And also if during, and also a thumbs up are great too. And if also during this zombie apocalypse, what's up, F10? What you doing? Oh man, you missed 3 hours. I'm not going back to that. I'll give you the simple breakdown. The chick that took over for the Prime Minister of England, her name is, go look up what her name, yeah. Go look up what her name is. Her name is like less trust or something. And basically, if you say it, it means lost trust. That's what I got into. Yeah, lost trust. Yeah, Liz trust. It's lost trust. And they just put that right in front of everybody's face. Yes, yeah. Good to see. Yes, you're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah, they put that right in front of everybody. And then they put, and what is that thing? I only seen a couple of pictures of that thing, and then the people clapping and smiling. Oh yeah, we got a new one here, huh? Better than Boris.
He's just Boris. You knew he was a bumbling fool. Now you got a man dressed as a woman, just evil, authoritative thing.
I don't know what the hell's going on there.
That's who they're gonna put in there. That's see, when everybody's like, oh, we got to get rid of this, this is destroying England, destroying America, destroying governments. Oh, we got to get rid of these people. They suck. Who do you think they're going to put in next time? Everybody's like, okay, you didn't like Orange guy. Now look what they did. Get rid of this guy. What do you think is going to happen next? You really want that second person that's in charge to be in charge if we get rid of that guy? Woo-wee. A lot of people are still saying he's about to. Everybody was saying in his third year. Where are we now? What year did he get put in there? He been around for like two and a half or something. 2 years. I don't know how this shit works. About 2 years. Who fuck knows? I don't know. 3 years. But right, they're making. If we put that thing, we put that other the camel toe thing in there. Is that what people want? They don't replace these things with something better. They give you something else. A different format of your stupidity. Yeah, so who gonna save yourself? Yeah, people really do believe the political party is saving something. No, they're just altering. It's one step this way, one step this way. That's all it works. Yes, they might give you back some of the things that they took, only to take it from somewhere else. Oh, here, these people took $10 from you. We'll give you back $5. They still up $5, but then you don't notice it. But we're going to take your shoes, and your shoes were $7. Now, what you didn't see that happened, the trick was, oh, I got $5 back. What did you lose? Well, they took my shoes. So now you're $12 in. The other motherfucker only took you for 10. You thought you got 5, so you think you're up 5. Nope, you're down 12, honey. They do that with everything. Oh, he did this. Oh, don't worry, we'll give you that back. Because they didn't want that. They didn't want that to begin with. They wanted the other thing. Don't worry, let's fix that for you. Guy over here wants this, doesn't want this. That politician took it. Next guy comes in, yeah, you can have that back. We're taking this though. They don't care about that other thing. Now those people go, oh, last guy is giving me everything I want. Now they're taking from me. And then wait, so don't worry, we'll get you a new one in there. 4 more years, they'll give you what you think you need. Yep. Just Frank, he like camel toe. I mean, I'm sure you like actual camel toe. You can't really be serious about thinking that person is any. Yeah. Posturing, decide. Yeah. Gotta be loose, baby. You gotta loosen up, baby. It's like when Adam Sandler's standing behind Chubbs. You gotta loosen up, baby. Go with the flow. Oh yeah. I hear you. Yeah, that one is something special. Her cackle laugh. I mean, when people laugh like that, it shows one of a few things. This is pretty much classically documented as psychologically there's something wrong with her. So either the reality is she's either full of shit and lying and knows she's lying, or yeah, that's pretty much it. That's about the size of it. Or she has like a mental disorder where she can't not do that. Everything just laughs at it because she's so not comfortable, not confident, and that lack of confidence comes from the fact that she's always full of shit. Stiffy idiots. It's maniacal and very unsettled. And how that's just gone on, and no one seems to give a shit. No one addresses that as like that's not how you communicate. That's not what you say. That's not what you do. That's supposed to be a professional orator that has control over things to make decisions. That's who's doing it. I mean, we get that she's not necessarily the one doing it, but as a puppet of the thing. What's up, Patrick? Really? It's on the What am I doing? How am I today? Pretty well. Went out Saturday and Sunday, or went out Sunday and Monday, excuse me. Didn't go out Saturday, Sunday and Monday, and it was a whole lot of fun, and had a lot of drinks, listened to a lot of music, good times. I was some cool motherfuckers. Spent too much money. Took yesterday off, and today we are back in it, man. It's almost 1 o'clock. I'm feeling like I want to eat and then go feed the ducks in a little bit. But for now, we just we crushing some Sobieski. So if anybody wants to, you are reminded that you have the capacity to give me the thumbs up. That's free and easy. And if you do have $1, a nickel, $10, if you want to buy me a house, a car, a lunch, a beer, CashApp, PayPal, Venmo, TsarXen. That's PayPal and CashApp. And then the other thing is Venmo. If those have more money in it after the show than they do to start, that'd be really great. Because I did spend too much money, and I hadn't gone to any bars recently because it's cheaper to drink in the streets and then meet some people out, and went to a couple bars and spent more money than I should have. So, if anybody wants to, thanks, appreciate it. F10, when you were doing stringent self-inquiry, oh, the pressure went straight to your jaw. Interesting. Oh, for real? Yeah. I never, luckily, so I know whoever asked me about it before, we were talking about chakras and things. I don't know when it happened, because when I was a kid, probably I had blockage here. Probably I didn't talk a lot. I was always goofy. I was funny-ish, but I didn't have a lot of confidence. I was nothing like this. You would not, if I showed you who I was in high school, this is not what you get. No one, and if they were doing like one of those spaghetti models of where a hurricane's gonna go, this one didn't exist. This is not what. But anyways, the point is, I obviously talk a little bit. My lungs, and I have a larger chest, Gemini chest, talky. and this is very open. So I never had the problem of getting any stagnation really in the jaw. But I hear what you're saying. I know people that happens to. They get a lot of build up here, and I have some friends that get like they got like a little weird thing in their little hump on the back of their neck. I mean, they're playing on the computer, but they have a little bit of a confidence issue speaking, and you will hold up emotions. Yeah, yeah. But but mentally you're sorting it out. Good, good, good. Oh yeah, yeah. Holding your ego. Yeah, for me, I'm I'm an emotional fucking. Well, not emotional. Like because of empathy and feeling. Like I don't really care. I just if I feel like crying, like if I go and listen to music. If I listen to music that's that good, oh, I'll just start crying. So I don't because I don't really. There's no reason to suppress it. If I want to laugh, I'm gonna laugh. I'm not gonna hold back my laughter. If I have to sneeze, I'm gonna sneeze. If I gotta fart, I'm gonna fart. You know. And people are they'll hold shit back from emotionally welling up or something. It's not somehow not manly or something, or it's too much. Like, oh, settle down. Don't feel that way. Like, no, dude, that's good. It's healthy. You lick your lips like a lizard. Oh, you got a huge ego. You... Oh yeah, just Frank. Hey, if you donate to me, it'll put you in a good guy lottery. Yeah, there you go. You get a sweet tea. Yeah, if you donate enough, I'll work on getting t-shirts for everybody. I don't know what they're gonna say yet, but I'll think of something funny. I really, I should have saved. I should have saved some of my money. But you make the mistake. I went out and I was like, I'm gonna get drunk today, and then one bar. I was like, I'm just gonna go one bar, and that turns into second place, and then I get this, and then oh, just 10 more bucks. And all of a sudden, I'm just like, I should have saved some of it to buy you guys shirts. If I would have known, no shirts quite yet. Some fermented lemonade. That's where you at? Yeah, I got. That's funny. That's what I got right now. I got lemonade and Sobieski, but I put cranberry in there. Cranberry lemonade. It's kind of dope. Mhm. Yeah, I always have that thing about saving things. It's partially because I like the idea of paying it forward and keeping and not stagnating energy or money. If you stagnate money, you're hoarding, and that would be a blockage in you. If I stagnate financially or internally, I don't. That's not a good idea. But there is, the opposite, which is like, shit, man, just fucking put it in the other account. Don't spend that. You might need it tomorrow. There's a rainy day fund, but there's also I don't know. Tomorrow will never come, and there's also that expectation of don't worry so much, man. You made it this far, and it will continue. You'll continue to get blessings and good things and all of that because I'm like every time I see my bank account, okay, I made some money, cool, and everything's cool, and then I see it go to like almost nothing, and it's like don't don't fucking don't do that. Don't be like, oh shit, I don't know how I'm gonna pay for this next thing that I want or that I need. If I do that, then I get stuck in that mode of there's not enough, and I go, oh fucking freak myself out. Eh, fuck it, see what happens. Yeah, it's the you got to have that abundance mindset that don't worry about it. That like if I go through the times I had a lot of money or times I was like, teeter-tottering and hand-to-mouth kind of shit. If I really think about it, let me do the math on this. Somehow 43 years on this realm. Okay, you give up the first 18 to your parents pretty much took care of you. Yeah, maybe 16 you get a job, and then all of a sudden, it's worked out all right. I think I have to be getting better at this somehow. My expectations kind of reside in this little tiny strange fantasy world where I don't know that I'm helping someone out that has a lot of money, but it's just one of these days you're like just drop a fucking shit ton of money in one of my accounts. I kind of have that little back of my head hope. You know what I mean? Like winning the lottery, kind of like I don't see why not. I mean, there's been plenty of times that people I didn't know gave me a good amount of money for like, oh, thank you, help me with this, and thank you, help me with that. And I was like, holy shit, comes from the most unforeseeable places. So I know it happens. You know what I'm saying? So I don't see why not. Like one of these days, I'm just like, oh shit, I have way less things to worry about. I could go spend this on somebody else. I can go make somebody else's day. You know what I'm saying? Speaking of making someone's day, let me go make myself a drink. Anybody want to join me? I'm having. Oh shit! I'm almost out of vodka. I'm gonna have a vodka and cranberry. Oh, and actually, you know what else in here? Cherry cranberry. And I'm gonna go grab some ice. You guys enjoy. Let's see what we got here. I'm gonna put a little music on while I go and get this ice. I'll be right back. Kind of stupidness we got here. Ooh, how that? Oh, there's two of them. Good shit. I'll be right back out. Hello there. Okay, we back. Where we at? Patrick here. Patrick, really? Patrick, is that really you? Or is it Patrick R. Healy? Or is that actually your name? Or is that just like for you making some vodka too? All right, just Frank, you out of here. Go enjoy that. Peace out, dude. Have a good day. Be weird. Okay, what were we getting into here? Hour 3 of Insanity. What should we discuss? Maybe Wednesday, 1 o'clock. Is there anything that I needed to do? Hold on 1 second, y'all. Ooh, I do have a little bit to. I do have a email and a phone call. Okay, check it out, y'all. It's my 3.5 hours. Let me make this. I gotta email someone, and I have to let me clean up a little bit, take a shit, and maybe order some snacks because I'm hungry. But I'll be back. I'll be back. I'll try to make it. It's 1 o'clock now. I'll try to do it in the next half an hour, an hour. I don't know. Maybe I'll go and see the ducks and do it from outside. We'll see. Let me go look at the wetness outside. Maybe we'll have a day outside. But yeah, good to see everybody. Thanks for showing up. Thumbs up are always welcome. Dollars are welcome. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. There's the description box. There's the thing on the bottom of the screen. There's my email, my Instagram. There's my WordPress. There's all that shit. You guys know the rules to life, which are have fun, enjoy yourself, be weird, be yourself, because everyone's already taken, that kind of stuff. If you do have extras, share, Help out a neighbor, help out a goofball, help out me if you can. Yeah, I'm gonna go find myself a snack. And F10, I'll answer that next show. But would I write a book? I've already started writing a book so many times, but it just takes too long. I just end up finding the simple thing is I don't think so. Maybe. I feel like all of the videos I put out are kind of a book, anyways. Just me dictating it, me writing it. I've tried. I've been 40 pages into writing a book, and the more that I know, the more that I feel like I got to put into the book. It'd be hard for me to write a book and go, oh, I should just save this and turn it into 10 books. I would never stop writing. But maybe I wouldn't know how to prepare it. I tried it, and every time I do, it just turns into like, oh shit, here's another chapter, here's another thing. So maybe we'll see. Maybe I'll just dictate it and see if it do one of those speech to typing thing, and I'll just talk. But it's good to see everybody. I'm gonna go shit, shower, and snack, and I'll try to see you guys within an hour or so. It's good to see you, and we will talk soon. Bye, bitches.